BGMC. The biblical truth lives here.
The ancient Hebrew scriptures foretold of the Anointed One, Yeshua HaMashiach. The Messiah Yeshua came to call the people back to the truth of His word and to follow that righteous path. Yeshua then called Jewish men to be His disciples, and after His death and resurrection, those Jewish men told the world about the Jewish Messiah. Now, after 2,000 years, Beth Goyim Messianic congregation has that same calling of those Jewish men, telling all people, both Jew and Gentile, about the proper ancient path, teaching the Route 66 King's Highway from Genesis through to Revelation, and how you need and can get back to the proper roots of the faith and a closer walk with God. Now, let's hear the message.
Let's go get a blessing. We're on slide number 78 for those in the PowerPoint.
Estamos en la página número 78 en la presentación.
We're doing the City Gate singular Messianic Bible Study.
Estamos estudiando el estudio bíblico mesiánico de la puerta de la ciudad.
Matthew chapter 5.
Mateo capítulo 5.
Verse 10.
Versículo 10. Punto 3.
This is study number 40.
Este es el estudio número 40.
Number 40. We're looking at the word pursue.
Estamos mirando la palabra seguir.
In verse 10 in the Brit Hadashah.
En el versículo 10 en el Nuevo Testamento.
But let's first understand something again.
Pero vamos primeramente a entender algo nuevamente.
Okay, Yeshua is talking. He's living in a Hellenistic society.
Yeshua está hablando y él está viviendo en una sociedad helenística.
And we know that from the book of Romans.
Y sabemos eso del libro de Romanos.
Where every man was doing sexually what was right in his own eyes.
Sexually?
Sexually, yes.
Que cada hombre estaba haciendo sexualmente lo que era correcto en su propia vista.
We've looked at Timothy, where the people were, I thought he was talking about New York City.
Miramos a Timoteo, a donde pensábamos que él estaba hablando de Nueva York.
Okay, so the society that we're living in today,
la sociedad en la cual vivimos hoy,
is really no different than the society that Yeshua was living in, except for internet.
En verdad no hay diferencia de la cual estaba viviendo Yeshua excepto el internet.
And you can get places quicker today.
Y puedes llegar a lugares más rápido hoy día.
But the society in the world was pretty much the same.
Pero la sociedad y el mundo era mayormente igual.
Going on to next slide. Turn to 1 Timothy.
En la próxima página vamos a Primera de Timoteo.
Actually, let's start Matthew 5. Let's go to Matthew 5.
Vamos a comenzar con Mateo capítulo 5.
Matthew 5 verse 10. Let's do our verse that we're looking at.
Mateo capítulo 5 versículo 10. Vamos a mirar el versículo de la cual estamos estudiando.
Just in case you haven't been here for the 40 other weeks.
Por si acaso no ha estado aquí por las últimas 40 semanas.
MATTIYAHU 5 verse 10.
Mateo capítulo 5 versículo 10.
How blessed are those who are persecuted because they pursue righteousness, for the kingdom of heaven is theirs. Now we've gone over blessed.
Hemos repasado la palabra bendecido o bienaventurado.
To understand blessed,
para entender bienaventurados o bendecido,
we looked at Psalm 119.
Miramos a Salmo 119.
And following Torah means you're going to be blessed.
Y siguiendo Torah quiere decir que vas a ser bendecido.
But Yeshua then says that you're going to be persecuted.
Yeshua dice que vas a ser perseguido.
Why would somebody be persecuted for wanting to do good?
¿Por qué vas a ser perseguido por querer hacer el bien?
Because what we've seen this weekend,
porque lo que hemos visto este último fin de semana,
and what happened in Virginia,
y lo que sucedió en Virginia,
is very much what was going on in the time of Yeshua.
Es claramente lo que estaba sucediendo en los tiempos de Yeshua.
See, when you remove God,
¿Ves? Cuando remueves a Dios,
then every man will do what's right in his own eyes.
entonces cada hombre hará lo que es correcto en su propia vista.
So when you want to pursue righteousness,
Entonces, cuando tú quieres seguir la verdad,
you're going against everybody else.
tú vas en contra de los demás.
And when you're going against everybody else,
Y cuando vas en contra de los demás,
war is about to happen.
la guerra está a punto de suceder.
Because who's to say that the Nazis are wrong?
Porque ¿quién puede decir que los nazis estaban equivocados?
Who's to say that the Black Lives Matter is wrong?
¿Quién puede decir que los de las vidas negras importan están equivocados?
Because if you take God out of your society,
Porque si sacas o quitas a Dios de tu sociedad
and you're being persecuted because you want to follow God's
y
commandments,
estás siendo perseguido porque quieres seguir los mandamientos de Dios,
then the Nazis are right,
entonces los nazis están
Black
correctos.
Lives Matters are
Los
right.
Black Lives Matter están correctos.
So whoever's got the bigger guns and the best military is going to win.
So, el que tenga las armas más grandes y la mejor milicia va a ganar.
But this is why Yeshua said,
Por eso fue que Yeshua dijo,
pursue righteousness,
persigan la verdad.
and then the kingdom of heaven will be yours.
Entonces el reino del cielo será tuyo.
But if we live in a society
Pero si vivimos en una sociedad
that does not pursue righteousness,
que no siguen la justicia,
even in the Christian body and the Messianic body,
hasta aquellos en el cuerpo cristiano y en el cuerpo mesiánico,
because there's not many congregations or churches that are preaching the law.
porque no hay muchas congregaciones ni iglesias que están predicando la
So
ley.
when you remove God's laws,
So, cuando remueves las leyes de Dios,
then you're going to be persecuted when you want to follow God's
entonces
laws.
vas a ser perseguido cuando quieres seguir a Dios.
I want to keep kosher.
Yo quiero guardar kosher.
Well, then you try to find a kosher butcher.
Entonces búscate un carnicero kosher.
But the government won't allow that to happen because they don't want a kosher butcher.
Pero el gobierno no va a permitir que eso ocurra porque no quieren un carnicero
Because
kosher.
the animal's going to suffer if you cut its neck this way.
Porque el animal va a sufrir si le cortas el cuello de esta manera.
Do you know that they're trying to stop kosher butchering in Europe?
Tú sabes que están tratando de prohibir la carnicería kosher en Europa.
So Yeshua said in Matthew 5 verse 10,
So, Yeshua dijo en Mateo 5 versículo 10,
how blessed are those who are persecuted because they pursue righteousness, for the kingdom of heaven is theirs. Amen?
bienaventurados los que padecen persecución por causa de la justicia, porque de ellos es el reino de los cielos.
So when you're trying to follow God's rules,
So, cuando estás intentando seguir las reglas de Dios,
like you want to grow a beard,
como quieres crecer tu barba,
you want to dress properly,
quieres vestirte apropiadamente,
you don't disappear at work,
no te desapareces en el trabajo,
okay? Then people don't like you because you make them look bad.
entonces no le cae bien a los demás porque tú lo haces ver mal.
But Yeshua says
Pero Yeshua dice,
the kingdom of heaven will be yours.
el reino del cielo va a ser tuyo.
And let's just say this life is short and eternity is long.
Vamos a decir que esta vida es corta y la eternidad bien larga.
And if you don't believe in eternity,
Y si no crees en la eternidad,
party on, Wayne, party on, Garth.
party on, Wayne, party on, Garth.
Okay? So now that we've looked at Matthew 5 verse 10, or what we're studying,
Ya que hemos visto lo que estamos estudiando, Mateo 5 versículo 10,
hold your place there,
mantén tu lugar ahí.
and we're going to turn to 1 Timothy chapter 6.
Y vamos a Primera de Timoteo, capítulo 6.
1 Timothy chapter 6,
Primera de Timoteo, capítulo 6.
verse 10 through 12.
Versículos 10 al 12.
1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 10 through 12.
Primera de Timoteo, capítulo 6, versículos 10 al 12.
Okay. For the love of money is a root of all the evils. Because of this craving, some people have wandered away from the faith and pierced themselves to the heart with many pains. But you, as a man of God, flee from these things and pursue righteousness, godliness, faithfulness, love, steadfastness, gentleness. Fight the good fight of faith. Take hold of the eternal life to which you were called when you testified so well to your faith before many witnesses. Amen?
Amén.
Why do we have to pursue these things?
¿Por qué tenemos que seguir estas cosas?
Righteousness, godliness, faithfulness,
La justicia, la piedad, la fe,
if we're under grace.
si estamos bajo la gracia.
Remember, Paul is the whole one that tells us we're under grace.
Acuérdate que Pablo es el que nos dice que estamos bajo la gracia.
Why is he telling his spiritual son Timothy,
Porque él está diciendo a su hijo espiritual Timoteo,
who's not Jewish,
que no es judío,
because his mother's a Jew and his father's a Gentile,
porque su madre es judía y su padre es un gentil,
so he's not Jewish
so no es judío
in the biblical way.
en la manera bíblica?
Why is he telling them to pursue righteousness?
Porque él está diciendo que siga la
Well,
justicia.
one, they're living in a terrible society.
Número uno, que están viviendo en una sociedad terrible.
They're living in a society that is loving money,
Están viviendo en una sociedad que son amantes al dinero,
loving evil. That means they're following Nimrod.
amando la maldad, que están siguiendo a Nimrod.
Nimrod is the king of all evils,
Nimrod es el rey de todos los males,
because Nimrod is Satan himself.
porque Nimrod es Satanás mismo.
Okay? Some people wandered away from the faith.
Mucha gente se apartaron de la fe,
Okay? But he's encouraging him in verse 11.
pero él lo está animando en el versículo 11.
Let's read verse 11 again.
Vamos a leer el versículo 11 nuevamente.
But you as a man of God, flee from these things and pursue righteousness, godliness, faithfulness, love, steadfastness, and gentleness. Amen?
Amén.
Okay? Why does he have to pursue this?
¿Por qué él tiene que seguir esto?
Okay? Because everybody around him
Porque aquellos que están alrededor de él
is not pursuing the law.
no están siguiendo la ley.
They want to blend their life with the world
Ellos quieren ligar sus vidas con el mundo
and do their time, do their shift on Shabbat.
y hacer su turno en Shabbat.
We have a lot of people like that come to Beth Goim.
Tenemos mucha gente así que vienen a Beth Goim.
You know what I'm going to do this Shabbat?
¿Sabe lo que voy a hacer este Shabbat?
I'm going to go from table to table.
Voy a ir de mesa en mesa
And I'm going to ask you what you read this week and question you
y
on it.
te voy a hacer la pregunta que leíste esta semana y te voy a hacer preguntas.
Because a lot of people do their Shabbat shift.
Porque mucha gente hace su turno de Shabbat.
Do you think that the Father doesn't know this?
¿Tú crees que el Padre no sabe esto?
And Yeshua was telling us this in Matthew 5 verse 10.
Y Yeshua no estaba diciendo esto en Mateo 5, versículo 10.
He says you're going to be persecuted
Él dice que va a ser perseguido
because you pursue righteousness.
porque tú sigues la justicia.
So here Timothy is being encouraged the same way.
So aquí Timoteo está siendo animado para to be the same way, para ser de la misma
In the same way.
manera, para vivir de la misma manera.
Okay? In verse 11,
En el versículo 11,
how would he know what righteousness is?
¿cómo es que él va a saber lo que es la justicia?
Okay, if he's going to pursue something,
Él va a seguir algo,
you got to know what you're pursuing, right?
tienes que saber lo que está siguiendo, ¿verdad?
Okay, the football teams are getting ready for the season.
Son como los equipos de fútbol americano se están preparando para la
The real
temporada.
football.
El fútbol verdadero.
Okay? Each team is going to be pursuing the goal
Cada equipo va a estar siguiendo la meta
to win the Super Bowl.
para ganar la Copa Mundial.
The Mets right now are pursuing the best pick in the baseball draft.
Los Mets ahora están siguiendo la mejor elección de draft.
Yeah. I don't know what you call draft.
La mejor elección de los jugadores nuevos.
Okay? So how would one pursue righteousness?
¿Cómo es que uno va a seguir la justicia?
How would one know what righteousness is?
¿Cómo es que uno va a saber lo que es la justicia?
If we don't have to follow the Torah anymore,
Si ya no tenemos que seguir la Torah,
what would be righteousness?
¿qué será justicia?
And what would Rav Shaul be telling his son?
¿Y qué estaría diciéndole Rav Shaul a su hijo?
Okay? So here, he's pursuing it because the society is not.
Él lo está siguiendo porque la sociedad no lo está haciendo.
And because the society is not,
Y porque la sociedad no lo está haciendo,
it's going to be that much more
Did you just hear something?
Yeah, it was my wife's phone.
Oh.
Okay. If he's pursuing something that the society is not,
Si él está siguiendo algo que la sociedad no está haciendo,
do you think that the society is going to like what you're pursuing?
¿tú crees que la sociedad, tú le va a agradar a la sociedad por lo que estás haciendo?
What we know from Yeshua's own mouth, that's my wife getting attacked.
Sabemos que de la boca de Yeshua,
In the Gospel of John chapter 3,
en el Evangelio de Juan capítulo 3,
the darkness hates the light.
las tinieblas odian la luz.
So when we're trying to pursue righteousness,
So, cuando nosotros estamos tratando de seguir la justicia,
faithfulness, what's faithfulness?
la fe, ¿qué es la fe?
How can I be faithful?
¿Cómo puedo ser fiel?
You know, can you be married 99% of the time?
¿Puede estar casado 99% del tiempo?
No, you can't be married 99% of the time.
No puede estar casado 99%
Come
del tiempo.
on, Robinson Kelly, you know, we've been together 33 years.
Ay, ya estamos juntos 33 años.
It's time to, you know, try something else, another flavor.
Es tiempo de probar otro sabor.
You know, there's so many Latin women at the congregation.
Hay tantas mujeres latinas en la congregación.
You know, maybe a Dominican woman or a Cuban woman or...
Oh, wait, I was going to say something, but no. Tal vez una mujer dominicana.
You know, maybe a Mexican.
Tal vez una mexicana.
You know, a cute little Mexican girl, a little bonita.
Una chiquita mexicanita.
But then that wouldn't be faithfulness.
Pero entonces eso no será ser fiel.
So, how are you faithful to him?
¿Cómo eres tú fiel a él?
How are you faithful to him?
¿Cómo eres tú fiel a nuestro Señor?
See, pursuing righteousness
Siguiendo la justicia
means it's a 24-hour job 7 days a week.
significa que es un trabajo de 24 horas, 7 días a la semana.
Because of the society that we are living in.
Por la sociedad en la cual nosotros vivimos.
But evidently,
Pero evidentemente,
Timotheus was also living in a society that was like ours.
Timoteo estaba viviendo en una sociedad igual a la de nosotros.
So how would he know what faithfulness is?
So, ¿cómo él va a saber lo que es la fidelidad?
Since the New Testament is not written yet.
Que como el Nuevo Testamento no ha sido escrito todavía.
What is read in the synagogue every single Shabbat,
¿Qué es lo que se lee en la sinagoga cada Shabbat?
is the Torah.
Es la Torah.
And when people say we need to get rid of it,
Y cuando la gente dice que nos tenemos que deshacer de la Torah,
then you're pursuing your own righteousness.
entonces tú estás siguiendo tu propia justicia.
And is your own righteousness what God thinks is correct?
Y es tu justicia lo que Dios piensa que es correcto.
And will that righteousness
¿Y será que esa justicia
be good enough for God to give you the kingdom of heaven?
sea suficientemente bien o bueno para Dios para dejarte entrar al reino del cielo?
That's what's the saddest part about the church.
Eso es lo más triste de la iglesia.
And also Messianic congregations that don't teach the Torah.
Y también las congregaciones mesiánicas que no enseñan Torah.
Pursuing righteousness means you have a goal.
Siguiendo justicia significa que tienes una meta.
The goal is to finish the race.
La meta es terminar la carrera.
But not as a loser, but as a winner.
Pero no como un perdedor, sino como un ganador.
So here in the CJB that we're reading in verse 11,
Aquí en el CJB, en el versículo 11 que estamos leyendo,
how would I know what godliness is?
¿cómo voy a saber lo que es la piedad?
If the church is saying we don't have to do the holy days anymore,
Si la iglesia está diciendo que ya no tenemos que guardar los días santos,
would that be godly or no?
¿sería eso piadoso o no?
Would celebrating Christmas be godly or no?
¿Será que celebrar la Navidad piadoso o
Well,
no?
we're celebrating the birth of Jesus.
Oh, pero estamos celebrando el nacimiento de Jesús.
Well, in Scripture, does it tell me the date that he was born?
En la escritura me dice la fecha en cual él nació.
Well, he was born on December 25th.
Bueno, nació diciembre 25. en un perseverate.
No, that was the third pope
No, ese era el tercer papa. That was Mithra.
putting a
Pudding was good.
holiday
Poniendo un día feriado
on the winter solstice.
en el solstice.
Winter. Veronica, solstice. I can't hear her, Tristan. Go.
Equinoccio de invierno.
Equinoccio de invierno. Thank you.
Okay.
You got it.
So if you're doing something that you can't find in Scripture,
Si estás haciendo algo que no puedes encontrar en la escritura,
then you're not pursuing righteousness, you're pursuing man.
entonces no estás siguiendo la justicia, estás siguiendo el hombre.
And if you're pursuing man, you're going to get man's reward.
Y si estás siguiendo el hombre, vas a recibir el premio del hombre.
But if you're pursuing God
Pero si estás siguiendo a Dios
and being faithful,
y siendo fiel,
then did you hear your phone go off? Okay. If you're pursuing faithfulness,
si estás siguiendo la fidelidad,
then you're going to receive the kingdom of heaven.
entonces vas a recibir el reino del cielo.
So in Matthew 5 verse 48 that we didn't go to
So, en
tonight,
Mateo capítulo 5 versículo 48,
the Lord says, Yeshua the Messiah says,
Yeshua el Mesías dice,
be perfect for your heavenly Father is perfect.
sea perfecto porque tu Padre en el cielo es perfecto.
So can we pursue
So,
righteousness?
¿podemos seguir la justicia?
Yes, we can.
Sí, podemos.
But most people are lazy.
Pero la mayoría de la gente son vagos.
Anybody notice that?
¿Han notado eso?
Most people are lazy.
La mayoría de la gente son vagos.
They'll start out, running the race and then,
Comienzan corriendo la carrera y después
okay.
se caen.
So here, let's just read verse 11 again, then we'll move on to the next one.
Vamos a leer el versículo 11 nuevamente y después pasamos para la próxima.
But you, as a man of God, flee from these things and pursue righteousness, godliness, faithfulness, love, steadfastness, and gentleness. Amen?
Amén.
What is he fleeing from?
¿De qué él está huyendo?
The love of money,
El amor del dinero,
the love of evil,
el amor de la malicia,
cravings of the old self,
deseos de la vieja persona,
wandering away from the faith.
apartándose de la fe.
Okay? When you want God over everything else,
Cuando quieres a Dios sobre todo lo demás,
then you flee from the old things.
entonces huyes de las cosas
But
viejas.
that requires work.
Pero eso requiere trabajo.
And Yeshua said pursuing
Y Yeshua dijo, sígalo.
means an action that you have to do something.
Es una acción que significa que tú tienes que hacer algo.
God's not going to do it for you.
Dios no lo va a hacer por ti.
You have to do it for yourself.
Tú lo tienes que hacer por ti mismo.
Because Yeshua already ran the race and then he said, my race is finished.
Porque Yeshua ya corrió la carrera y dijo, ya mi carrera se ha terminado.
But your race is not.
Pero tu carrera no has terminado.
That's why in verse 11 it says you.
Por eso en el versículo 11 dice tú.
Because you're in charge of your heart.
Porque tú estás a cargo de tu corazón.
You have to do the work.
Tú tienes que hacer
My
el
job
trabajo.
is to give you the tools,
Mi trabajo es darte las herramientas.
but I'm not at your house.
Pero yo no estoy en tu casa.
I'm not in your head.
Yo no estoy en tu cabeza.
I'm not in your phone.
No estoy en tu teléfono.
Okay, I'm not on your computer.
No estoy en tu computadora.
I'm not at your house.
No estoy en tu casa.
You have to do your work
Tú tienes que hacer tu trabajo.
because salvation is personal.
Porque la salvación es personal.
But the promise
Pero
from Yeshua
la promesa de Yeshua
is that if you pursue
es que
righteousness,
si tú sigues la justicia,
He'll send the lawyer, the counselor to help you,
Él va a enviar el consejero para ayudarte.
and then the kingdom of heaven will be yours if you win the race.
Y entonces el reino del cielo va a ser tuyo si tú ganas la carrera.
Let's go on to the next slide.
Vamos a la próxima página.
Let's turn to 2 Timothy.
Vamos a seguir segunda de Timoteo.
2 Timothy 2.
Segunda de Timoteo capítulo 2.
Verse 21 to 23.
Versículos 21 al 23.
2 Timothy 2,
Segunda de Timoteo capítulo 2,
verse 21 to 23.
versículos 21 al 23.
If a person keeps himself free of defilement, by the latter he will be a vessel set aside for honorable use by the master of the house and ready for every kind of good work. So flee the passions of youth, and along with those who call the Lord from a pure heart, pursue righteousness, faithfulness, love, and peace. But stay away from stupid and ignorant controversies. You know that they lead to fights. Amen?
Amén.
Okay, so here, I don't know how Paul's going to win people.
So, yo no sé cómo Pablo va a ganar gente.
You know, people get mad when I call people stupid.
La gente se enojan cuando yo llamo la gente
I'm
estúpida.
just following my cousin Paul.
Yo solamente estoy siguiendo mi primo Pablo.
He called people stupid.
Él llamó gente estúpida.
Well, if the shoe fits, wear it.
Bueno, si el zapato te calza, póntelo.
Okay? Forgot to mute that. Okay, who's the clown? Okay. So, anyway, let me mute this. Although the timing was good.
Timing was impeccable.
Okay. So, here back, let's read verse 21.
Vamos a leer nuevamente el versículo 21.
If a person keeps himself free of defilement, by the latter he will be a vessel set aside for honorable use by the master of the house and ready for every kind of good work. How will I know what defilement is?
¿Cómo voy a saber lo que es ser impío, impuro?
Okay? Where will I find the criteria for these things?
¿A dónde voy a encontrar el criterio para estas cosas?
Where will I have the rules for what makes something defiled?
¿A dónde voy a tener las reglas para ver lo que se vuelve impuro?
Will those rules be found in the Brit Hadashah, the New Testament?
¿Se encuentran esas reglas en el Nuevo Testamento?
No, they will not.
No.
The rules are reiterated in the New Testament,
Las reglas son mencionadas nuevamente en el Nuevo Testamento,
but the rules are written in the Old.
pero las reglas están escritas en el Viejo Testamento.
Like when you're offering an offering to the Lord,
Cuando le está dando una ofrenda al Señor,
it tells you what to look for in the animal,
Te
what
dice-
makes the animal impure.
te dice qué buscar en el animal, qué hace el animal impuro.
The same goes for what we can and can't like.
Y lo mismo se trata con lo que podemos y no debemos, no, lo que debe y no debe agradarnos.
What did you say, Benjamin?
I had a question specific.
Speak up a little bit. I got a man moaning downstairs.
I have a question specifically about that.
Okay.
If you can't get the animal for the offering, or the animals rather for the offering, do you substitute the cash amount? for
In
whatever cost?
Torah,
En la Torah,
if you can't obtain the animal,
si no puedes obtener el animal,
you can do a monetary offering in lieu of it, it says in Torah.
puedes dar una ofrenda en cambio del animal.
Like
Dice
let's
Torah.
say you made a really big mistake and you're a person of means.
Vamos,
you have money.
vamos a suponer que cometiste un error y eres una persona de mucho dinero.
But we right here don't have an altar.
Aquí no tenemos un altar.
Well, you can either ask Rav Will to do it on his altar,
Puedes pedirle a Rav Will que lo haga en su altar.
but a cow's going to take some time to burn that up, and it's
But-
going to smell good, and Rav Will might eat it.
Pero una vaca va a tomar tiempo para quemarlo en el altar y va a oler bien rico y tal vez Rav Will se lo coman.
But I just look for somebody who wants to do an offering, a sin offering today.
Pero, ¿the what?
Somebody wants to do a sin offering this coming Shabbat.
Alguien quiere hacer una ofrenda de pecado este
But
Shabbat que
they're
viene.
not going to be able to do the cow or something like that.
No pueden hacer la vaca o algo así.
So I looked up, you can get pigeons,
Pueden comprar palomas
and or doves. They range in price from $40 to $400 per pigeon.
Yeah, it depends. If you buy the racing pigeons, yeah.
If you buy racing pigeons,
So you got to translate that.
Si compras palomas de carrera te va a costar mucho, pero puedes comprar palomas entre $40 y $400.
But you have to try
Cada uno.
to do what makes you acceptable.
Tienes que intentar de hacer lo que te va a ser aceptado.
And if you can't do it,
Y si no lo puedes hacer,
then you might want to wait. You can say,
Tal-
I'm sorry to the Lord.
tal vez quiere esperar, le dice, perdóname, Señor.
But if you want to do it properly
Pero si lo quiere hacer correctamente
and do the offering properly,
y hacer la ofrenda correctamente,
then you should wait until you can do it fully.
entonces debe de esperar hasta que lo pueda hacer completamente.
Because why give your least to God?
¿Por qué darle lo menor a Dios?
You should pursue everything that is righteous.
Debes de seguir todo lo que es justo.
So if you can't do everything that time,
So, si no lo puedes hacer todo en ese momento,
then wait and say you're sorry to the Lord.
entonces espera y pídele perdón al Señor.
Acknowledge your sin
Pero reconozca tu pecado
before Him,
antes Él.
but still you have to do the other part.
Pero todavía tienes que hacer la otra parte.
But pursuing righteousness
Siguiendo la justicia
means wanting to do everything that is required.
significa querer hacer todo lo que se requiere.
So if you, let's say, have the money for the offering,
¿De what?
you have the money for the
Si
offering,
tienes el dinero para la ofrenda,
but you don't have enough money to get here, or you can't do it right now.
pero no tienes suficiente dinero para llegar aquí o no lo puedes hacer ahora.
Let's say you live within 4 hours.
Vamos a suponer que vives entre 4 horas de la sinagoga.
Then I would say wait
Entonces diría yo, espera
until you can make the time to get here.
hasta que puedas hacer el tiempo para llegar aquí.
I mean, if you live, 3/4 away across country, that's a different story.
Si vives 3/4 del camino del país, entonces es otra historia
Okay,
diferente.
so you pursue righteousness
So, sigues la justicia.
is one, knowing what the goal is.
Es uno sabiendo lo que es la meta.
And in a society that we're living,
Y en una sociedad en la cual estamos viviendo,
you're going to make an altar, people freak out.
tú vas a hacer un altar, la gente se paniquea.
Like one of the people that used to come online with us
Una de las personas que estaba en el internet con nosotros
flipped out because we do offerings.
se volvió loco porque hacemos
You can't
ofrendas.
build an altar.
Tú no puedes construir un altar.
Abraham built an altar.
Abraham construyó un altar.
Yitzhak, Yaakov built an altar.
Isaac y Jacob construyeron un altar.
And didn't God say, no matter where you live?
Y nos dijo Dios, no importa dónde vivas.
Did not God know we were going to be living here in Estados Unidos?
Dios no sabía que íbamos a estar viviendo aquí en los United States.
Okay. So, pursuing righteousness
Siguiendo la justicia
means people are going to persecute you because you want to do what scripturally is correct.
significa que la gente te van a perseguir porque quieres hacer lo que es correcto escritural, bíblicamente.
If we look at verse 21 again,
Y si miramos el versículo 21 nuevamente,
we see keeping yourself free from defilement.
es
First part of the sentence.
yeah. Si alguno se limpia de estas cosas, si uno se mantiene.
Contaminación, Benjamin.
What?
Contaminación, defile es contaminación o ultrajar o profanar.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, thank you. Si uno se aparta de la contaminación,
Okay? So the world is defiled.
so, el mundo está contaminado
And because they don't know, they're not pursuing righteousness,
porque no están siguiendo la justicia.
not pursuing God's righteousness,
No están siguiendo la justicia de Dios.
pursuing their own righteousness.
Están siguiendo su propia justicia.
But here, Shaul is saying that Timothy,
Pero aquí Pablo le está diciendo a Timoteo,
keep yourself free from this defilement.
guárdate de esta contaminación.
You know,
Libérate de esta
This is one of the
contaminación.
part of Yeshua's teachings he
heard about.
Esto es una de las partes de las enseñanzas de Yeshua que él había escuchado.
Because remember, Shaul never met Messiah. He only heard him.
Porque acuérdate que Shaul nunca conoció a Mesías, solamente lo escuchado de él.
He only spent a very limited amount of time with the Talmudim, the disciples.
Y él solamente pasó un tiempo limitado con los Talmudim, con los
So he
discípulos.
couldn't have learned everything Messiah said in that very short period of time.
So, él no podría haber aprendido todo lo que dijo el Mesías en ese corto tiempo.
So then what is he teaching Timothy here?
So que él está enseñando a Timoteo aquí.
Pursue righteousness
Sigue la justicia,
by keeping yourself free from defilement.
guardándote de la contaminación.
Okay, so what would contaminate you?
¿Qué te va a contaminar?
Well, Torah is going to tell you what contaminates you.
Y la Torah te va a decir lo que te va a contaminar.
And once you know that shrimp cocktail contaminates you,
Y ya cuando sabes que el cóctel de camarones te va a contaminar,
or doing drugs contaminates
o
you,
haciendo usando drogas te va a contaminar,
even though the world says, oh, it's okay to smoke pot,
aunque el mundo diga que está bien fumar marihuana,
God says that defiles your temple,
Dios dice que eso contamina tu templo
and it also makes you fat.
y también te hace gordo.
Okay? Now we move on to verse 22,
Ahora vamos a versículo 22
and we say, Betsy Wetsy!
y decimos, Betsy, Betsy.
Okay? So flee the passions of youth, and along with those who call on the Lord from a pure heart, huh?
I'm waiting to see you finish.
Okay? From a pure heart, pursue righteousness, faithfulness, love, and peace. Well, what is love?
¿Qué es amor?
You know, Tina Turner said, what's love got to do with it?
Don't
Everything. Okay? What is love? What is Messiah's definition of love?
¿Qué es el amor? ¿Cuál es el significado de Mesías del amor?
If you love me, you'll make me a white garlic pizza. With fresh mozzarella,
Fresh
extra cheese,
ricotta cheese, garlic, oregano,
fresh garlic.
fresh crushed garlic,
Ooh.
grated garlic.
Ooh, you know, slices.
Yummy.
So what's love? Keeping God's commandments.
Guardando los mandamientos de Dios.
John 14:15. If you love me, you'll keep my commandments.
Juan 14:15. Si me amas, guardarás mis mandamientos.
Faithfulness goes with love.
So, la fidelidad va, va junto con el amor.
Amor
es atado con el amor.
obedecer los
Mandamientos.
acti-
I'm sorry.
Mario? Yes, Benjamin.
If you could explain a little bit more, what does he mean?
Speak up a little bit. They're now playing music.
If you could explain a little bit more, what does he mean by youthful lusts?
Youthful.
¿Qué él quiere decir con las pasiones juveniles?
See, a lot of times young men don't think before they react. And sometimes older men.
Muchas veces los jóvenes no piensan antes de reaccionar.
When you get older in the Lord,
Cuando te maduras en el Señor,
you tend to react to things a little bit slower.
reaccionas a las cosas un poco más lento,
Because you've been burned before.
porque has sido quemado antes
You
o decepcionado antes.
listen to more stories before making a determination.
Escuchas más historias antes de llegar a una determinación.
But as we saw this past weekend,
Como vimos este último fin de semana,
you didn't see a lot of old people in the crowd.
no viste mucha gente mayores en la multitud.
You saw a lot of young people.
Vieron muchos jóvenes.
So older people tend to be a little bit. They'll go to war,
Los mayores van a la guerra,
but it's got to be worth it.
pero tiene que valer la pena.
This was not worth it.
Esto no valía la pena.
Okay, you had the alt-right, which
Sí.
was wrong,
Tenía la derecha que equivocados
and the all left that was wrong.
y los de la izquierda que estaban mal.
All those young men came looking for a fight and they found it.
Todos esos jóvenes vinieron a buscar una pelea y lo encontraron.
But really the biggest problem was the police.
Pero el problema más grande fue la policía.
They didn't do their job.
Ellos no hicieron su trabajo.
And that's where they're wrong.
Y ahí es a donde están
Your job
equivocados.
is to keep the peace.
Tu trabajo es mantener la paz.
And I don't give a hoot who told you to stand down.
Y a mí no me importa quién dijo que
To let it happen.
que lo dejara pasar.
That police chief should be hung from a tree.
Ese gerente de policía debe de ser colgado de un árbol.
So youth came together with youth.
So, la juventud se encontró con la juventud.
Gasoline and matches came together.
La gasolina y los fósforos se juntaron.
What do you think is going to happen?
¿Qué tú piensas que va a suceder?
Because so youth sometimes do not think things through.
So, la juventud a veces no piensan las cosas bien.
It is good to react in certain situations.
Es bueno reaccionar en ciertas ocasiones.
Like when somebody's life is in danger.
So, como cuando la vida de uno está en peligro.
Then we react because life is precious to God.
Entonces reaccionamos porque la vida es preciosa para Dios.
Torah teaches us to preserve life
La Torá nos enseña preservar la vida
at any cost.
a cualquier costo.
Okay? So youthful lust
So, las pasiones juveniles
is doing an action
es haciendo una acción
but not thinking of the equal and opposite reaction.
y no pensar en la acción opuesta y reacción opuesta.
A lot of men do not think with the top half of their body.
Muchos hombres no piensan con la cabeza exterior de su cuerpo,
They think with the lower half of their body.
piensan con la cabeza secundaria
And they could be married
y pueden estar casados
and make a mistake that costs them their entire family
y cometer un error que le cuesta su familia entera,
because it was a moment of lack of reasoning.
porque era un momento de falta de razonamiento.
Generally, a person that has more gray hair
Generalmente una persona que tiene más gris
tends to think things through sometimes better.
Muchas veces piensan las cosas un poquito mejor.
Well, if I get caught,
Bueno, si me
she's going to take
cogen,
my house.
ella se va a quedar con la casa,
She's going to take my car.
me va a quitar el carro,
She's going to take my kids
me va a quitar los
and take
niños
most of my paycheck.
y quitar la mayoría de mi
And then
sueldo.
for years, you're finally paying it off.
Y por muchos años está terminando de pagar. That's why they say it's cheaper to keep her.
Okay. Well, it's cheaper to get married to somebody who's a godly
Yes,
woman to a
yes.
godly man.
Yes, I know. Es mejor casarse con una mujer o un hombre piadoso que teme al Señor.
But, youthful lust,
Pasiones juveniles.
that's why the Lord said put the 20-year-olds in the military.
Por eso fue que el Señor dijo que ponga los de 20 años en la milicia.
Because you can say, go attack, and they'll go, yes.
Porque tú puedes decir, ve y ataca, y ellos dicen, sí.
It's a fight. Yes,
Es
this is
una
good.
pelea, esto es bueno.
Sometimes when you get a little older, you're like, can't we talk first?
Sí, a veces cuando eres un poquito más mayor,
Because, my
dice,
shoulder just ain't working.
Podemos hablar sobre esto primero porque mi hombro no está funcionando muy
I'll
bien.
fight, if it's
Yo
reasonable.
peleo si es razonable.
But that's why the Lord says, send the leaders out to negotiate. Do Sun Tzu first, negotiate.
Por eso que el Señor dice, envía a los líderes para negociarlo primero.
Sun Tzu was reading the Torah.
Sun Tzu estaba leyendo la Torah.
So in Torah it says negotiate first. Negotiate terms for
En
peace.
Torah dice que lleve términos de paz,
Because you're pursuing righteousness.
porque tú estás siguiendo la justicia.
Because when people die, somebody's sad.
Porque cuando alguien muere, alguien está triste.
That was somebody's son, somebody's
Ese fue el hijo de alguien,
somebody's child,
el niño de alguien,
somebody's husband,
el esposo de alguien,
somebody's father.
el padre de alguien.
So when you get a little older, you You think things through before going to war.
Cuando ya maduras, piensas las cosas bien antes de entrar a la guerra.
Okay? So when you're pursuing
Cuando
righteousness,
estás siguiendo la justicia,
you might be fighting against society
tal vez va a estar luchando contra la sociedad,
because they're pursuing evil.
porque ellos están siguiendo la
The people
maldad.
the people you're working with,
La gente con quien trabaja,
the little Dominican that you were talking about,
la Haitian,
Haitian,
la
same island.
yeah.
Okay. She's not pursuing a relationship, she's pursuing fornication.
Ella no está buscando una relación, ella está buscando la fornicación.
But a godly woman is pursuing a man that fears God.
Pero una mujer piadosa está buscando un hombre que teme a Dios.
And in the world that we're living
Y
in,
en el mundo en el cual estamos viviendo,
I can't tell you how many articles I've read
no puedo decirte los artículos que he leído,
making fun of those that wait till marriage.
burlándose de aquellos que esperan para el matrimonio.
You're going to wait till you're married?
¿Cómo vas a esperar hasta que te cases?
Yes, because I'm pursuing righteousness.
Sí, porque estoy siguiendo la justicia.
I want it to be something beautiful.
Quiero que sea algo bello, bonito.
But in the world we're living
Pero
in,
en el mundo en el cual vivimos,
if you say something like
si
that,
tú dices algo así,
you know, they'll think very badly of you
van a pensar bien mal de ti,
instead of thinking very good of you.
en vez de pensar muy bien de ti.
That's a man that's going to honor his wife.
Ese es un hombre que va a honrar a su esposa.
That's a man who's going to be respectful of a woman.
Ese es un hombre que va a ser respetuoso de una mujer.
That is a woman that respects herself.
Ese es una mujer que se respeta a sí mismo.
It's the opposite of dead batteries. Reload. You need a speed loader. Okay? So when you're pursuing righteousness,
So, cuando estás siguiendo la justicia,
you're teaching the young men to not look for the outside of the woman.
está enseñándole al joven no mirar a lo externo de la mujer,
Because beauty is skin deep,
porque la belleza solamente le llega hasta la piel
and ugly goes all the way to the bone.
y lo feo llega hasta los huesos.
Okay? So in our marriage class,
En nuestra clase de matrimonio,
if you could have a good relationship
si tú puedes tener una buena relación
with a woman who, even if she's not married, has her head covered,
con una mujer, aunque no sea casada, que tenga su cabeza cubierta,
and you don't really see her form,
y tú en verdad no ves su forma,
but you develop a relationship.
pero tú desarrollas una relación, una amistad.
If the Lord blesses that relationship,
Si el Señor bendice esa relación,
because both of you were pursuing godly righteousness,
porque los dos están siguiendo la justicia piadosa,
that's a relationship that's going to last when times are not good
esa es una relación que va a durar cuando los tiempos no están muy buenos
and when times are great,
y cuando los tiempos están muy
because
buenos.
you're going to have a friend
Vas a
that
tener una amiga
is pursuing the same righteousness as you.
o un amigo que está siguiendo la misma justicia que tú.
And then, you might not be as handsome as you are today.
Tal vez no sea tan
You
buen
can look
hermoso
like that
que
one
estés
day.
hoy. Te puedes ver como, but you will look like that one day.
You have his genes in you.
Tú tienes los maones de él en ti.
You got the egg. You got the egg.
Los genes.
You got the egg genes in you.
Tú tienes los egg genes.
Egg.
Los
Huevo.
genes del huevo.
Dr. Eggman.
Dr. Eggman.
Okay. The little head and the little feet and the big belly.
La cabeza pequeña, los pies grandes. No, los pies pequeños y la barriga grande.
Okay. But if you're pursuing righteousness
Si estás buscando la justicia
and she is pursuing
y
righteousness
ella está siguiendo la justicia
and God puts you together,
y te une Dios,
then you pursue it together. And when the two of you are together, Yeshua said, "I'm there with you."
entonces lo siguen juntos y Yeshua dijo, a donde hay dos juntos, ahí estaré en medio de ellos.
But in verse 22,
En el versículo 22,
fleeing passions of youth is meaning controlling your urge.
huyendo las pasiones juveniles significa controlar tus deseos,
Especially in the society that we live in.
especialmente en una sociedad en la cual vivimos.
But Yeshua was living in the same type of society.
Pero Yeshua estaba viviendo en la misma clase de
And we
sociedad.
read that in
Y
Colossians.
leímos eso en Colosenses,
We've read it in Timothy here.
lo leímos en Timoteo
And we
aquí,
read it in Romans.
y lo leímos en Romanos.
So we have to flee passions
So, tenemos que huir las pasiones
and pursue
y seguir
with a pure heart
con un corazón puro,
righteousness.
justicia.
But when you're trying to do that,
Pero cuando estás intentando hacerlo,
you might feel alone
tal vez te sientas a solas.
because the call came in and you can't go.
Porque la llamada vino y no lo pudiste contestar.
Your friends are calling you to go to the bar,
Tus amigos te están llamando para ir a la barra,
but you can't because you know it's going to be bad.
pero no puedes porque sabes que va a terminar mal.
But when you're pursuing
Pero
righteousness
cuando estás siguiendo la justicia
and everybody at work is pursuing fun,
y todos en el trabajo están siguiendo la diversión
and all you want to do is talk about the word,
y lo que quieres hacer es hablar de la palabra
and nobody else wants to talk about the word,
y nadie más quiere hablar de la palabra,
sometimes it can get a little lonely.
tal vez a veces se puede se sentir uno bien solo.
But if you complete your race,
Pero si completas tu carrera,
Yeshua says the kingdom of heaven will be yours.
Yeshua dice que el reino del cielo será tuyo.
Because in heaven,
Porque en el cielo,
you know what I'm going to like so much about heaven?
¿tú sabes lo que me va a gustar mucho del cielo?
I'm not going to have to explain anymore how to keep Shabbat holy.
No voy a tener que explicar más cómo guardar el Shabbat Santo.
Because everybody's going to be doing it. Everybody's going to be the same.
Porque todos lo van a hacer, todos van a ser iguales.
Everybody's going to love the same thing.
Todos van a amar las mismas
Because
cosas.
there's only going to be Jews in heaven.
Porque solamente van a haber judíos en el
There's going
cielo.
to be no Greeks in
No
heaven.
van a haber griegos en el cielo.
No Ecuadorians in
No
heaven.
ecuatorianos
No
en el
Colombians in
cielo.
heaven.
No colombianos.
No Mexicans in heaven.
No mexicanos.
Certainly no Puerto Ricans in heaven.
Especialmente no puertorriqueños.
We're all going to be Jews worshiping in the same way.
Todos vamos a ser judíos adorando de la misma manera.
Because we pursued righteousness.
Porque seguimos la justicia.
But the key here is in verse 22.
Pero la clave aquí es en el versículo 22.
It happens when we have a pure heart.
Sucede cuando tenemos un corazón puro.
Then we know what love is.
Entonces vamos a saber lo que es el amor.
Because Yeshua said, if you love me,
Porque Yeshua dijo, si me amas,
you're going to keep my commandments.
guardarás mis mandamientos.
And what are his commandments?
¿Y cuáles son sus mandamientos?
Was he not there in the desert?
¿Él no estuvo ahí en el desierto?
Wasn't he the angel that had God's name inside of him?
¿No fue él el ángel que tenía el nombre de Dios dentro de él?
So what would be his commandments?
So, ¿qué será sus mandamientos?
That would be the a minimum starting with the 10.
Al mínimo comenzando con los 10.
So if you can't keep the Sabbath holy,
So, si no puedes guardar el Shabbat Santo,
you're praying to idols,
estás rezándole a ídolos,
then you're not faithful.
entonces no eres fiel.
If you're not keeping the holy days,
Si no estás guardando los días santos,
then you're not pursuing righteousness.
entonces no estás siguiendo la justicia.
But if you're going over to the family's house for Christmas, but you're not really celebrating it,
Pero si vas a la casa de tu familia para la Navidad, pero en verdad no lo estás celebrando,
well, everybody's there in the family,
pero todos están ahí en la familia,
then you're not really pursuing righteousness.
entonces en verdad no estás siguiendo la justicia.
Keeping ourselves free from defilement.
Guardándonos de la contaminación.
That means we can't go to the Christmas dinner with the family
Que
anymore.
eso significa que no podemos ir a la cena de Navidad con la
Because
familia más.
that's to another God.
Porque eso es a otro Dios.
Yes, sir.
I've had a conversation with another believer.
You're a follower, he's a believer.
Right. This person tried to argue with me about keeping the law. And they kept saying that the only laws that they have to keep are the 7 Noahide laws. So I asked this person, what are the 7 Noahide laws?
Where do I find them?
Where can I find it? She says, well, we don't have to keep Shabbat, but if we want to, we can. I said, help me understand something here. Is not God the same yesterday, today, and forever? Doesn't he say that his word will not return unto him void? So if he told us that we have to keep Shabbat, that we can't eat the pig, and the Gentile, when he comes into Israel or to Messiah, he's engrafted into the natural olive tree, which means he's partaking of the blessings. Doesn't he feed off of the same food that the tree feeds from? So doesn't he have to keep the laws? But where else can I show this person what you just finished saying?
To a Gentile,
A un gentil,
I witness from the New Testament.
yo te testifico del Nuevo Testamento.
You're saying, I'm a stupid Jew.
Tú le dices que yo soy un judío estúpido.
You say, in 2 Timothy 2,
Tú le dices en 2 Timoteo capítulo 2,
verse 22,
versículo 22,
it says, pursue righteousness.
dice, sigue la justicia.
Where will I find a biblical definition of this word so that I can pursue that?
Le preguntas, ¿a dónde puedo conseguir un significado bíblico para yo poder seguir eso?
Then they have to talk about Torah,
Entonces ellos tienen que hablar de Torah. But she does talk about Torah.
right?
But she says that we don't have to keep Torah because we're not Jews. I said, but wait a minute, aren't we engrafted? Aren't those who come to Messiah engrafted in?
Pause. Where will I find the biblical definition
¿A dónde voy a encontrar el significado
of what
bíblico
righteousness is?
de qué es la justicia?
It doesn't say for the Jew or the Gentile here. It says, I want to know what righteousness means.
Aquí no dice para el judío o el gentil, yo quiero saber lo que es la justicia.
Okay? I want to know what God says is righteousness.
Yo quiero saber lo que Dios dice que es justo.
Because Paul is saying,
justicia.
I have to pursue this righteousness.
Porque Pablo dice que yo tengo que seguir esta justicia.
So I have to know what the definition of righteousness is.
So yo tengo que saber lo que es el significado de justicia.
Because we all have to be speaking the same language.
Porque todos tenemos que estar hablando la misma lengua.
Because Puerto Ricans don't speak Spanish.
Porque los puertorriqueños no hablan español,
They speak Puerto Rican.
hablan puertorriqueño.
Americans do not speak English, they speak American.
Los americanos no hablan el inglés, ellos hablan americano.
Don't tell, don't go to English and say we speak English. They'll hit you.
Yeah. No
With
vaya a
a
Inglaterra y
pointed
decir
stick.
que hablamos inglés.
Okay? So we all have to be speaking the same language.
So tenemos que estar hablando la misma lengua.
In verse 21,
En el versículo 21,
I would say, what is the biblical definition of defilement?
¿qué es el significado bíblico de contaminación?
If Yeshua said, I'm to pursue righteousness,
Si Yeshua dice que yo tengo que seguir la justicia,
what does defilement mean then?
¿qué significa contaminación? O contaminarse.
And that's where you start. You never witness to a goy from the Old Testament.
Tú nunca le testificas a un goy o a un gentil del Viejo Testamento.
You only witness from the New.
Tú solamente le testificas del Nuevo Testamento.
Give me any page of the Bible,
¿Ah?
any page of the New Testament.
Cualquier página del Nuevo Testamento.
I will find. You tell me turn to this page. I'll find a word
Tú me dices, vete a esta página, yo encuentro una palabra
that you're going to have to go to the Old Testament to give me my
que
definition.
vas a tener que regresar al Viejo Testamento para darme el significado.
And then if the person is searching for truth,
Si la persona está buscando la verdad,
but that's what most people are not.
pero eso es lo que la mayoría de gente no.
And that's why Matthew 7 verse 23 is very scary.
Y por eso que
Matthew 7 verse 23,
Mateo 7, versículo 23 es bien asombrante.
where Yeshua says,
Donde Yeshua dijo,
get away from me, you worker of
lawlessness."
iniquity.
Yeah. Apartaos de mí, hacedores de iniquidad.
But Lord,
Pero Señor,
we preach in your name, Jesus.
predicamos
Yes,
en tu
sir.
nombre, Señor.
We
Sí,
healed in your name.
Sanamos en tu nombre,
Jesus Christ.
Jesucristo.
Jesucristo. En el nombre del Padre. En el nombre de Recibe. Okay.
Wait. Tú Benny Hinn. No.
Okay. So, Yeshua's going to say to their face,
Yeshua va a decir a su cara,
you are not pursuing righteousness.
tú no estás siguiendo la
So
justicia.
get the hell out of here.
So, apartado de mí.
And then he's going to say goodbye.
Y va a decir, chao.
He's going to say it to your
Y
face.
te lo va a decir a tu cara.
Because the kingdom of heaven is not theirs.
Porque el reino del cielo no es para ellos.
So you use only the New Testament.
So, tú usas solamente el Nuevo Testamento.
You say, and you can always say, and the other thing I do with these guys,
Y lo otro que yo hago con estos goy,
I play like I'm an unsaved Jew.
yo pretendo de hacer un judío no salvado.
What do I need your Jesus for?
¿Por qué voy a necesitar tu Jesús?
Then they have to try to witness to you. And then,
Porque,
you're in sin.
porque ellos tienen que testificarte y te dicen que está en pecado.
Well, what's sin?
Entonces, ¿qué es pecado?
Where will I know what sin is?
¿A dónde voy a saber lo que es pecado?
A one-move checkmate.
Un jaque mate de una movida.
Going on to the next
En
slide.
la próxima página,
Turn to 1 Peter.
vamos a Primera de Kefa.
1 Peter 3.
Primera de Pedro, capítulo 3.
1 Peter 3.
Primera de Pedro, capítulo 3.
1 Peter 3, verse 10 and 11.
Primera de Pedro, capítulo 3, versículo 10 y 11.
1 Peter 3,
Primera de Pedro, capítulo 3,
verse 10 and 11.
versículo 10 y 11.
For whoever wants to love life and see good days must keep his tongue from evil and his lips from speaking deceit. Turn from evil and do good, seek or pursue peace and chase after it. Amen?
Amén.
So are we to pursue peace with people?
¿Tenemos que seguir la paz con la gente?
No.
No.
In our earlier Matthew study,
En el estudio más temprano, más antes de Mateo.
now remember this is week number 40 of studying Matthew.
Acuérdate que esta es la semana número 40 de estudiar Mateo.
Okay? Hunger and thirst for righteousness. Pursue it.
Hambre y sed de justicia, sígalo.
So we say, seek God.
Dice, sigue a Dios,
Seek peace with Him.
siga la paz con Él,
Chase after Him.
corre detrás de Él.
Then, because we don't need to seek peace with the alt left or the alt right.
No tenemos que buscar la paz con la derecha o la izquierda.
We need to seek peace with our God.
Tenemos que buscar la paz con nuestro Dios.
And then God will have the alt right and the alt left fight together
Y,
against one another.
y de entonces Dios va a tener la derecha y la izquierda luchar en contra el uno con el otro
And kill one another.
y matar el uno y el
And we could
otro,
just
al
stand
otro.
there. Okay, you guys fight it out.
Y tú te puedes quedar ahí y decir, ok,
I'll
pelear.
stand over here with my gun over here.
Y yo me quedo aquí con mi arma
Right there.
ahí.
Okay? You guys go to town on each other.
Vayan y peleen el uno con el otro.
Okay? But whoever wants to love life,
El que quiera amar la vida,
seek good days.
ver buenos días,
Now, he's got to keep his tongue from evil.
tiene que guardar, apartar sus labios, no, que refrene su lengua del mal.
How will I know how to keep my tongue from evil?
¿Cómo voy a saber guardar mi lengua del mal?
Would saying Merry Christmas be evil?
¿Sería decir Feliz Navidad mal?
Feliz Navidad. Okay. How do I know that's evil?
¿Cómo voy a saber que eso es malo? Malo.
How do I know that's evil?
¿Cómo voy a saber que es malo?
What do you think there, young man, striped shirt man?
¿Qué tú piensas ahí, señor de la camisa rayada?
He's been let out of prison.
Lo dejaron libre de la cárcel.
What I think is that you're which is saying how to say that you're mentioning another God, you're praising another God, and that's not what God wants. So to me, that's already evil.
You're mentioning another God.
Estás mencionando otro Dios.
And once you mention another
Y
God,
ya cuando mencionas otro Dios,
it shows your unfaithfulness to Him.
Enseña tu infidelidad a Él.
Because you are recognizing another little God, and our God said He's jealous.
Porque tú estás reconociendo un Dios menor y nuestro Dios es un Dios celoso.
How do you keep your lips from evil? What's the difference between tongue and lips?
¿Cómo es que tú guarda o aparta tus labios del engaño, de la maldad?
How do you keep your lips from speaking evil?
¿Cómo tú guardas tus labios de hablar el mal o el engaño?
Praying over the ham.
Orando sobre el jamón.
Praying over the... What, Betsy?
Sí, que los cristianos rezan por el cerdo, el jamón, la chuleta, el pernil.
Okay. And in verse 11,
Y en el versículo 11
it says, turn from evil and do good.
dice, apártese del mal y haga el bien.
How will I know what is turning from evil?
¿Cómo voy a saber lo que es apartarse del mal?
Where, if you're talking to that same person,
Si tú le estás hablando a esa misma persona.
how will I know what this evil is that Peter speaks of?
¿Cómo voy a saber de esta maldad de la cual habla Pedro?
Can I go to the company Christmas party?
¿Puedo ir a la fiesta de Navidad de la compañía?
Can I go to the beach on Shabbat?
¿Puedo ir a la playa en Shabbat?
No. Can you go to the beach any other time, really?
¿Puede ir a la playa en cualquier otro tiempo?
It's hard
Es difícil.
because there's going to be a lot of people that are dressed inappropriately.
Va a haber mucha gente que están vestidos inapropiadamente. Or like Carmen said, there's more cotton in a medicine bottle.
Like you go to Brazil,
¿Cómo vas a Brasil?
okay? I think most of the girls forgot their pants
Yo pienso que la mayoría de mujeres se le olvidaron sus pantalones.
because on the beach they got those
Dental floss.
dental floss bikinis.
Usan el hilo dental como traje de baño.
Okay? So
would use that.
how will I know
¿Cómo voy a saber
what evil is?
lo que es la maldad?
Because Yeshua is saying pursue righteousness.
Porque Yeshua está diciendo siga la justicia.
So you have to know what is evil,
So tienes que saber lo que es malo
and you have to know what is good.
y tienes que saber lo que es el bien.
Because he's saying pursue it.
Porque él está diciendo síguelo.
Because the people in the society are not pursuing it.
Porque la gente en la sociedad no lo están siguiendo.
And you're going to be persecuted
Y vas a ser perseguido
because you want to make laws that say, no, the person can't dress like that on the beach.
porque quieres hacer leyes que dice que no, esa persona no se puede vestir así en la playa.
Oh, we got to get sun and it's healthy for
O
us.
tenemos que bañarnos del sol porque es saludable para nosotros.
Did anybody ever get sunburned while wearing a t-shirt at the beach?
¿Alguien se ha quemado con el sol usando una camiseta en
The
la
sun
playa?
can go right through the shirt.
El sol puede traspasar la camisa.
Okay? What else?
¿Qué más?
What would be good?
¿Qué será el bien?
What would be seeking to do good?
¿Qué será buscar hacer el bien?
Every Friday getting ready for Shabbat.
Cada viernes preparándote para Shabbat.
And if you have a job that won't allow you to have Shabbats off,
Y si no tienes un trabajo que permite los Shabbat libres,
do you try to get out of that line of work?
trata de salirte de esa clase de trabajo.
Or try to work something out where you can have Shabbats off and work every Sunday.
O tratar de hacer un arreglo de tener los Shabbat libres y trabajar todos los domingos.
Look at verse 11, please.
Mire el versículo 11, por favor.
Turn from evil and do good, pursue peace and chase after it.
Apártese del mal y haga el bien. Busca la paz y sígala.
Chase after this righteousness.
Siga esta justicia.
Chase, and now the word peace there is the word shalom.
Ahora la palabra paz ahí es la palabra shalom.
And remember, we looked at the word shalom earlier in the studies.
Y acuérdate que miramos la palabra shalom más temprano en el estudio.
What did Jehovah give Pinchas?
¿Qué fue lo que Jehová le dio a Pinchas?
He shoved a spear through two people,
Él le traspasó la lanza a dos personas
and God said, "Bad boy."
y Dios dijo, mal hecho.
Okay, no, he
No.
said, "I'm going to give him a covenant of shalom because he chased those people."
No, él dijo que le va a dar un pacto de shalom porque él persiguió a esas dos personas.
So we have to seek the same shalom.
Nosotros tenemos que buscar el mismo shalom.
But when you're doing it,
Pero cuando lo estás haciendo,
if you're being the one that's saying, "No, we can't do this.
si eres el que está diciendo no podemos hacer eso.
No, we can't have gay marriage.
No podemos tener matrimonios gay.
No, we can't have euthanasia.
No podemos matar a los inválidos.
No, we can't allow divorce.
No podemos permitir el divorcio.
No, we can't allow smoking pot."
No podemos permitir el fumar la marihuana.
Then you're going to be persecuted.
Entonces tú vas a ser perseguido.
Going on to the next slide.
En la próxima página,
Now we're going to look at the word righteousness.
ahora vamos a mirar la palabra justicia.
We're now in the city gate, singular,
Estamos en la puerta de la ciudad, singular, no portones de la ciudad.
Messianic Bible study,
Estudio bíblico mesiánico.
MATTIYAHU 5:10.4, righteousness.
MATTIYAHU 5:10.4, justicia.
Okay, so now we're going to look at the diamond,
Ahora vamos a ver el diamante,
okay, on what biblically is righteousness.
en lo que es la justicia bíblicamente.
Going on to the next slide,
En la próxima página
let's go back to Matthew 5, verse 10.
vamos a regresar a Mateo capítulo 5 versículo 10.
Any questions on the last part
Hay preguntas en la última parte
about the word pursue?
de la palabra seguir.
Any questions from WebEx?
Hay preguntas de WebEx.
You guys are good?
And just want to make a note there. Isabel, si tú me estás tratando de textear, mi teléfono está apagado.
His phone is dead
It's been up since 3 o'clock this morning.
and then been used often. Okay, any questions from Skype Payland?
Hay preguntas sobre la tierra de Skype.
You good there, Martin?
Órale, vato, ¿está bien?
Yeah, bro, I'm okay. Okay.
Yvonne, you're good?
Good. Everything's good.
Okay.
No?
All right, Matthew 5, verse. Any questions in the room here? What? Go ahead, Martin.
Yes, I have a question.
Somebody's got a question.
No, I'm just
No, I was saying that Ivan is on YouTube. She's watching you on YouTube.
YouTube? On YouTube.
All right, you got a question.
no, I was gonna joke. I'm sorry.
Okay,
When
what's
can
the
we
joke?
get when can we get a white pie?
Huh?
When can we when can we get a white pizza?
I don't know, like later. I don't know when pizza day is. Like we rotate the families.
You just threw his whole mind in for a loop with that white pie.
We had one a couple weeks ago. Anyway, Betsy.
Yo no sé si puedo hacer esta pregunta,
I don't know if I can ask this question.
pero como él dice que nosotros no debemos de hacer como las cosas de cumpleaños,
That we shouldn't do things of birthdays and stuff like that, celebrations.
problema en mi trabajo,
Huh?
en mi trabajo
And her job
esta semana,
this past week,
la señora me dijo que como la hermana cumpleaños,
that the lady told her like her sister has a birthday coming up.
ella quiere que yo la acompañe, que van a ir a comer a un restaurante.
She wants her to accompany her because they're going to go eat in a restaurant.
Y me dijo que la llevara a la iglesia católica.
And she told her to take her to a Catholic church.
I don't know what to do.
Well, Your situation is a little bit different
Tu situación es un poco diferente
because you're a nurse's aide.
porque tú eres una ayudante de enfermera.
You have to take care of your patient.
Tienes que cuidar de tu paciente.
It's not like you're in the hospital.
No es como que tú estás en un hospital.
So you have to be involved because it's your
Tú
patient.
tienes que estar envuelta porque es tu paciente.
Because you're there because this person can't take care of themselves.
Tú estás ahí porque esa persona no se puede cuidar ella misma.
So you fall into the category of the watchman.
Tú caes en la categoría del atalaya.
You know, your patient has to be taken to the Catholic hospital.
Tu paciente tiene que ser llevada a una
the Catholic
católica, a una iglesia católica.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you have to take, thank you, sir. Fruit from the garden. Demonic stuff, it's tomatoes. Okay. As for ourselves celebrating birthdays and things like that,
Como para nosotros celebrando cumpleaños y cosas así,
Jewish people don't celebrate birthdays.
los judíos no celebran cumpleaños.
The two birthdays that we see in the scriptures, somebody dies.
Los dos cumpleaños que vemos en las escrituras, alguien muere.
We see in Egypt,
Vemos en Egipto,
the baker dies.
El panadero muere
At Pharaoh's birthday party.
en el cumpleaños del faraón.
And then in the Brit Hadashah, we see John die
Y en el Nuevo Testamento vemos que Juan muere.
because Herod was so happy with the way his daughter danced.
His brother's daughter, isn't it?
Well, it was his sort of daughter-ish type.
Porque
Let's not.
Herodes
it's a
estaba
study for another time.
estuvo alegre de la manera que su hijastra le bailó.
Okay, but you're working for this person.
Estás trabajando por esta persona.
Like Rav Eduardo, you know, he has a regular job.
Como Rav Eduardo tiene un trabajo regular.
But Christmas time, his company throws a Christmas party.
Pero en la Navidad, la compañía de él tira una fiesta navideña.
He chooses not to go to the Christmas
Él
party.
elige no participar en la fiesta navideña.
You can't choose to not take your patient
Tú no
who you're
puedes-
working for, who's paying your
Tú
salary.
no puedes elegir no llevar tu paciente por cual tú estás trabajando que te paga tu salario.
Because that's your job.
Porque ese es tu trabajo.
You have to, now you don't have to sing La Cumpleaños, Feliz.
Tú no tienes que cantar Happy Birthday tuyo.
Okay. But you have to take care of your patient because
Pero
that's your job.
Tienes que cuidar de tu paciente porque es tu trabajo.
Okay. So, yes, sir.
Wouldn't that be moving the boundary stone though?
No, your job is, you're not like the two examples.
Los dos ejemplos.
At Raved, the company's having a Christmas party.
La compañía tiene una fiesta navideña.
You have a choice whether or not to go to the company Christmas party.
Tú puedes elegir ir o no a la fiesta navideña.
Betsy's job is to take care of this person.
El trabajo de Betsy es cuidar a esa persona.
So if the person's going to a restaurant,
Si la persona va a un restaurante,
it's her job to take care of her patient.
okay, su trabajo es de cuidar de ese paciente, but she has to take her to a Catholic church.
If the patient is, it is your job. Now she can ask to be taken off the case.
Ella puede pedir que le quiten del caso, but
She has to take care of her
the
patient.
lady knows her where she stands in her faith.
Right.
right?
So she can.
She knows where she stands in her
But
faith. So by, I don't know. I guess I see it different. By her taking her to the Catholic Church would be like condoning idolatry.
You're not partaking in it. You're doing your. What is her job?
To care for the needs of this lady.
Right. She's private duty nurse's aide.
Okay.
Okay. So she can ask to be removed from the case from that day.
O ella puede pedir que la remuevan del caso por ese día.
But her job is to take care of that patient.
Pero el trabajo de ella es cuidar de
It's
esa
private
paciente.
duty. It's not hospital.
Es trabajo privado, no es hospital.
Where Rav Ed is working for this company,
que Raver está trabajando por esta
the
compañía.
company is having a Christmas party as they do every year.
Ellos tienen una fiesta navideña como hacen todos los
He's
años.
not going to go to the Christmas party
Él no va a ir a la fiesta navideña
because that's not part of his job.
porque eso no es parte de su trabajo. Oh, it's under the Bible.
Okay? So you can ask your boss to be removed from the case from that day, or
Tú puedes
have
pe-
somebody cover you.
Tú puedes pedir que alguien te cubra por ese día,
But your job is to take care of your patient.
pero tu trabajo es cuidar de ese paciente.
Reverend Kelly had to go to, when she was doing private duty nursing.
Cuando ella estaba haciendo enfermería privada.
So when your patient has to be transported from, let's say, home to a dialysis,
Cuando tu paciente tiene que estar trasladado de la casa para recibir diálisis.
if you're a private duty nurse, sometimes you have to go with that patient to the dialysis unit.
Si eres una enfermera privada, a veces tienes que ir con tu paciente a esa
Because that's your
unidad
job.
de diálisis porque ese
You're
es tu
not
trabajo.
partaking in the wafer that the Catholics are going to give.
Tú no estás compartiendo en la comunión que están dando los católicos.
Your patient is partaking in the Catholicism.
Tu paciente está participando en el catolicismo.
Like maybe your patient wants to go receive, I guess, communion or something.
Su paciente quiere recibir comunión o algo.
But your job is to wipe her spit from her mouth.
Tu trabajo es limpiarle la baba de su boca.
You're not partaking in the paganism, you're just taking care of your patient.
Tú no estás participando en el paganismo, sino estás cuidando de tu
It
paciente.
just happens to be in that building today.
Eso solamente es que ese día está en ese edificio.
But your job is to make sure her nasal cannula is still in her nose so she can breathe.
Tu trabajo es mantener el tubo de respiración en su nariz.
You're not partaking in the ceremony,
Tú no estás participando en la ceremonia.
you're taking care of your patient.
Tú estás cuidando de tu paciente.
Now, you are close to the boundary marker.
Tú estás bien cerca a la piedra límite.
But so then you can ask to be removed from that case from that day.
So, tú puedes pedir que te remuevan de ese caso por ese día.
But your employer might not like that.
Pero tal vez tu jefe no le va a gustar eso.
So you have to discuss it.
So, tiene que discutirlo.
But you're not partaking in the ceremony.
Pero no estás participando en la ceremonia.
You're helping to move your patient.
Estás pidiendo ayudar tu paciente.
You're helping to roll her up the aisle.
Estás ayudando llevarla al frente de la iglesia.
But you're not partaking in the Catholic ceremony.
Pero
You're taking care of your patient.
no estás participando en la ceremonia católica, sino estás cuidando de tu
In
paciente.
healthcare, there's certain jobs where
Hay ciertos trabajos
you have to take each situation in light of the scriptures.
que tienes que tratar cada situación de acuerdo a la escritura.
Like we were talking about your beard for working for security.
Como estábamos hablando sobre la barba por trabajar en seguridad.
The police don't want you to have a beard
La policía no quiere que tenga barba
because it's a weapon that can be used against you.
porque es una arma que puede ser usada en contra de ti.
But then again, a couple of million Sikhs can't be wrong in the army in India.
Pero un par de millones de signos puede estar equivocados en el ejército en India.
But people do grab your beard
Pero hay gente que sí agarran tu barba.
because they grabbed it when I worked on the ambulance.
Porque me lo agarraron cuando trabajé en la
And mine
ambulancia.
was short.
Y el mío era corto.
But it can, so you have to deal with that with your employer.
So, tú tienes que tratar con eso con tu
As a
jefe.
firefighter, you cannot have a beard
Como un bombero no puedes tener barba.
because you're in a fire, you can't breathe the fumes.
Porque estás en
You'll be a
un
dead
fuego, no
firefighter.
puedes oler el humo. Va a ser un bombero muerto.
So you fit the criteria of a watchman.
So, tú caes en el criterio de la atalaya.
Dr. Mark, as a surgeon, cannot have a full beard.
Doctor Mark, como un cirujano, no puede tener una barba completa.
And in Israel, doctors don't have beards
Y en Israel los doctores no
That are
tienen barba,
surgeons.
que son cirujanos.
because it breaks the barrier of protection.
Porque rompe la barrera de protección.
Because, you're over, I don't know how I even have a beard. There's always hair coming out.
Yo no sé cómo tengo barba porque siempre se me está cayendo
I'm like,
el pelo.
it's amazing.
cirujanos.
Well, what company? Yeah, but that's in. We're talking about medicine.
Estamos hablando de medicina.
Okay. In restaurant, you can have a beard thing, but they really don't like it.
En un restaurante puede tener una barba y usar una malla para la barba, pero en verdad no le.
In surgery,
no le agrada.
as a surgeon, you cannot have a beard.
En cirugía no puedes tener barba.
As a firefighter, you cannot have a beard.
Como bombero no puedes tener barba.
Because you'll have your oxygen on, and the flame will get, and then you'll have a burnt face.
What if they tell you can have a beard, but it's got to be shorter?
In firefighting,
No, in police or security or
in all the police departments that I work for,
en todos los departamentos policial que en la cual yo he trabajado,
I worked for 3 different police departments.
trabajé por 3 departamentos
You
de
could have a
policía.
mustache,
Tú puedes tener bigote,
but it couldn't go past your mouth.
pero no podía pasar los labios.
But the police department, the PD itself, could not have a beard.
Pero la policía no podía tener
It
barba.
was a policy of the police department.
Es una póliza, es una,
Wait.
hold on a second. Es una póliza de la policía. But they're letting them have beards as long as they're short now.
It's each department. Now, the New York City PD just got sued and lost.
Right. El Departamento de Policía de Nueva York fue demandado y perdieron a un musulmán.
Okay, because they had a Muslim and an Orthodox Jew
Tuvieron
sue them.
un musulmano y un judío ortodoxo que le demandaron por la barba.
It is really a risk
En verdad es un riesgo
because this is grabbable
porque esto se puede agarrar
and it hurts.
y duele.
Okay. Now the Sikhs generally have theirs bound.
Los Sikhs tienen sus barbas atados.
You ever see the Sikhs are the ones with the hats? They're very hairy people.
Son bien velludos.
Okay. So when you're pursuing righteousness,
Cuando estás siguiendo la justicia,
you have to think about what type of position you're working in.
tienes que pensar en la clase de posición en la cual estás trabajando.
You know, you're a waitress at Hooters.
Eres una mesera en Hooters.
You can't work there because you got to show your Hooters.
No puedes trabajar ahí porque tienes que enseñar tus Hooters.
And if you got little Hooters, you got to make them stand up Hooters.
Y si tienes Hooters pequeños, tienes que hacer que estén paraditos.
Okay? But you have to think about your job.
Tienes que pensar sobre tu trabajo.
I knew that when I was part of the other congregation,
Cuando eras parte de la otra
I
congregación,
knew the owner of the Laugh Factory.
yo conocía el dueño de la factoría de risa.
The Laugh Factory is a comedy club in New York City.
La factoría de risa es la factory es un club de comedia en Nueva York.
He was very good friends with Eddie Murphy.
Él era buen amigo con Eddie Murphy.
And in Beverly Hills Cop, the guy that comes at the end,
Y
whose house Eddie Murphy was at,
en la película de Beverly Hills Cop, el que viene al final de la película en la casa la cual estaba Eddie Murphy,
his name is Richie Tinkinen.
su nombre es Richie
Tinkinen. He's the owner of the Laugh Factory.
Es el dueño de la factory.
And he got saved.
Y fue salvo.
And he asked me, what do I do?
Y me preguntó qué yo
Because
hago.
he owns the Laugh Factory.
Porque él es dueño de la factory.
The Laugh Factory sells alcohol.
El la factory vende alcohol.
And people blaspheme the name of God as in their part of their comedy.
Y la gente blasfema en el nombre de Dios como parte de su comedia.
He says, what should I do?
Él dijo que debo de hacer.
I said, you got to pursue righteousness.
Yo le dije, tienes que seguir la justicia.
He pursued the world.
Él siguió el mundo.
He didn't want to sell his company.
He
He didn't want to sell his
no
company.
quiso vender su compañía.
It's my livelihood.
Es mi bienestar.
Once God chooses to awaken your spirit,
Cuando Dios elige despertar tu espíritu,
sometimes it's a very hard decision.
a veces es una decisión bien difícil.
And don't tell me it's too hard,
Y no me diga que es muy difícil.
because I've changed my life in a lot of ways.
Porque yo he cambiado mi vida en muchas maneras.
So, and lost a lot of friends,
y he perdido muchos amigos,
family members,
miembros de familia
and a beautiful home
y una casa bella.
because God doesn't pay nearly as well as the world does in most instances.
Porque Dios no paga tanto como el mundo,
Especially when you're doing video work and you're shooting weddings.
especialmente cuando está haciendo trabajo de video y filmando bodas.
Okay? When are most weddings?
On Saturdays.
Friday night,
Friday
Saturday
night and
night.
Saturday night. La mayoría de bodas son viernes en la noche y sábado en la noche.
And when you're making a lot of money per day,
Y cuando estás ganando mucho dinero por día,
okay? That's hard to give up.
es difícil de dejar.
Making movies,
Haciendo películas,
working in clubs.
trabajando en discotecas, en clubes.
I was engineering one party.
Yo estaba haciendo el sonido para una fiesta.
I don't recommend seeing this movie, but the movie Scarface.
Yo no recomiendo ver la película, pero la película Cara de Cicatriz.
In one scene in the movie with Al Pacino,
Una escena en la película con Al
he
Pacino.
dumps over a minimum it was a pound of cocaine.
Él abre 1 kilo de cocaína.
At the party I was doing for a very big band, I
En la
won't
fiesta
say.
que yo estaba haciendo para un grupo grande,
There was that much cocaine and more there.
había esa cantidad de cocaína y más.
Okay? When you're in with that crowd
Cuando estás ligado con esa multitud
and God walks into your life,
y Dios entra en tu vida,
pursuing righteousness
siguiendo la justicia
is a hard decision
es una decisión difícil.
because I can't do this.
Porque tú dices, no puedo hacer esto.
But Yeshua says in Matthew 5 verse 10 here,
Pero Yeshua dice aquí en Mateo 5, versículo 10,
how blessed are those who are persecuted because they pursue righteousness, for the kingdom of heaven is theirs.
bienaventurados los que persiguen, los que son perseguidos porque siguen la justicia, por causa de la justicia, porque el reino del cielo es de ellos.
I can't even say the words that people said to me after I left the industry.
Yo no te puedo mencionar las palabras que me dijeron cuando me aparté de la industria.
A lot of the words began with the letter F.
Muchas de las palabras comenzaron con la letra
And my
F.
title was a big A and something else that followed
Y
it.
mi título era una A mayúscula y otras cosas que le seguían.
But when you choose to pursue righteousness
Cuando eliges seguir la justicia
and you achieve that goal,
y
when you reach the end of the
cuando
race,
llegas al final de la carrera, cuando alcanzas esa meta,
you will be part of the kingdom of heaven.
vas a ser parte del reino del
And
cielo.
I believe in heaven.
Y yo creo en el cielo,
I believe in hell.
yo creo en el infierno
And I believe that there's a God.
y yo creo que hay un Dios.
And I believe that he only lets in certain people.
Y yo creo que Él solamente permite entrar cierta gente.
So he's going to let you live at his house only
Él va a permitir que tú vivas en su casa solamente
if you're pursuing his type of
si
righteousness.
estás siguiendo la justicia de Él.
Now the word righteousness
Ahora la palabra justicia
in the CJB
en el CJB
is found 309 times.
se encuentra 300 o es mencionado 309 veces.
Salvation is only found once.
La salvación solamente se encuentra una vez.
Shabbat is found 116 times.
Shabbat se encuentra 116 veces.
So this is pretty important to Jehovah our Father.
Esto es sumamente importante para Jehová nuestro Padre.
But here in verse 10,
Pero aquí en el versículo 10
it is personal.
es personal.
Blessed are those who are persecuted, meaning it's personal.
Bienaventurados aquellos que son perseguidos, que
Pues-
significa que es personal.
Because individually we have to seek righteousness.
Individualmente tenemos que seguir o buscar la justicia.
Now we have to understand this verse
Ahora tenemos que entender este versículo
and what righteousness is
y lo que es la justicia.
in understanding
Y en un entendimiento
Hebrews 13 verse 8.
de Hebreos 13, versículo 8.
Now what does Hebrews 13 verse 8 say?
¿Qué dice Hebreos 13, 8?
The pizza is hot, it's warm, and then it's cold.
Yeshua is the same yesterday, today, forever.
Okay? Messianic Hebrews 13 verse 8 says what?
Yeshua is the same yesterday, today, and forever.
Amen.
Yeshua is the same yesterday, today, and forever.
Yeshua es el mismo ayer, hoy y para siempre.
So if he's the same,
So, si Él es el mismo,
we're going to look at the word righteousness.
vamos a mirar la palabra justicia.
And we're going to see what it means in the Tanakh.
Y que vamos a ver qué significa en el Tanakh.
What does Zadik mean?
¿Qué
Or
significa Zedekah?
Okay? What does this righteousness mean?
¿Qué significa esta
Now
justicia?
remember, once we understand the meaning,
Ya cuando entendemos el significado,
it doesn't change once you get to the Brit Hadashah.
no cambia cuando llegas al Brit Hadashah, al Nuevo Testamento.
Going on to the next slide.
Vamos a la próxima página.
Let's go to Bereshit, Genesis 18, the Bereshit.
Vamos a Bereshit 18. Génesis capítulo 18.
Bereshit
Ashkenazi
18,
Sephardi.
verse 17 through 20.
Génesis capítulo 18, versículos 17 al 20.
Bereshit,
Bereshit.
Ashkenazi.
Hey, you making fun of me? No.
Yes,
Yes.
Genesis 18, that's in the big inning. The Mets don't have many of them this year. Are they 16 games out of first place?
What?
I think
Really?
last time I checked.
Well, they should have stood home this season.
Well, you got to practice. Makes
How-
perfect.
How many years have they been practicing? Let me see. 69, 83. How many years? Wow.
Hey, Thurman, check the gas tank.
Yeah, and your Yanks bought their rings.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
Genesis 18, verse 17 through 20 says, Jehovah said, Shall I hide from Abraham what I'm about to do? Inasmuch as Abraham is sure to become a great and strong nation, and all the nations of the earth will be blessed by him. For I have made myself known to him so that he will give orders to his children, to his household after him, to keep the way of Jehovah and to do what is right and just, so that Jehovah may bring about to Abraham what he has promised him. Jehovah said, the outcry against Sodom and Gomorrah is so great and their sin so serious. Amen?
Amén.
So he's going to give orders to his family, Abraham,
So, él le está dando órdenes a la familia de Abraham
to keep the way of Jehovah
para guardar el camino de Jehová
and to do what is right and just.
y hacer lo que es recto y justo.
Right and just in whose eyes?
Recto y justo en vista de quién?
In Jehovah's eyes.
En la vista de Jehová, en los ojos de Jehová.
How does he know what's right in Jehovah's eyes?
¿Cómo es que él sabe lo que es recto o correcto en los ojos de Jehová?
Because Moses ain't born yet.
Porque Moisés no nació todavía.
Moses ain't born yet.
Moisés no nació todavía.
Aaron's not the high priest.
Aarón no es el sumo sacerdote.
How is he going to know how to build an altar?
So, ¿cómo es que él va a saber a construir un altar?
How's he going to know what to offer on that altar?
¿Cómo él va a saber qué ofrendar en ese altar?
How's he going to, who's his mother anyway?
¿Quién es la madre del? ¿Quién es
His
la madre
mother's
de
a
Abraham?
goy.
La madre de él es un goy, un gentil.
So Abraham can't get citizenship in the land
So, Abraham no puede ser ciudadano en la tierra
because his mom's a goy.
porque su madre es un goy.
He was the first and last Jew.
Él fue el primero y último judío
Okay? Because his son marries a goy.
porque el hijo de él se casa con un gentil.
Okay? That's in last week's message.
Ese fue en el mensaje de la semana pasada.
Okay? So keeping the way of Jehovah
So, guardando el camino de Jehová
and to do what is right and just.
y hacer lo que es recto y justo.
Okay? So righteousness
Justicia
is keeping the way of Jehovah.
es guardando el camino de Jehová.
Righteousness
Justicia
is teaching your children how to keep the Shabbat.
es enseñándole a tus hijos cómo guardar Shabbat.
Not going to the beach on Shabbat.
No viajando a la playa en Shabbat.
Not cooking on Shabbat.
No cocinando en Shabbat.
Not going into the water on Shabbat.
No entrando al agua en Shabbat.
Yeah, is the beach good? Yeah.
La playa es buena, sí,
But not on Shabbat.
pero no en Shabbat.
Okay? On Shabbat?
What about what?
Mikvah?
¿Y qué de mikvah en Shabbat?
That's a very interesting question.
Es una pregunta bien interesante.
Would you do a mikvah on Shabbat?
¿Tú has hecho mikvah en Shabbat?
Then how would you be keeping the kadosh mikvah if you were in the mikvah?
¿Cómo tú? Raf? Question? Question?
Well, 1 second.
It has to do with what you just said, though.
Okay.
When Yeshua spat and made mud and put it on the guy's eyes, he cleaned his eyes with water. That's kind of a mikvah, isn't it?
Is that the mikvah?
Oh, it's not immersion, okay.
Says,
All right.
so Bobby. So let me ask you a question.
So deja hacerle una pregunta.
Well, you're doing the mikvah to enter into Shabbat, a full mikvah,
Está haciendo un mikvah entero para entrar a Shabbat,
but not on Shabbat.
pero no en Shabbat.
You asked on Shabbat.
Tú preguntaste en Shabbat.
Aaron and his sons did a full mikvah before entering into Shabbat.
Aaron y sus hijos hicieron un mikvah entera antes de entrar a Shabbat.
The Zohar. The Zohar. Oh, I love the Zohar.
Oh,
I
boy.
love mysticism.
Oh boy.
I really like Kabbalah too.
Oh.
So did Britney Spears.
Yo, while you're sitting there, close that door. You just opened it up, man.
The Zohar?
It's so hard.
Is the Zohar given by Hashem?
Fue el Zohar dado por Hashem. Dicen que fue divinamente inspirado. No es Torah, pero todavía está divinamente inspirado. What?
You got to get.
Lo refieren
It's holy, all right.
como,
It's full of holes.
el Zohar Santo.
The Zohar is even beyond Talmud as garbage.
El Zohar es más allá de Talmud como basura.
It's Jewish mysticism.
Es divinación judía.
Hence, it is witchcraft.
Entonces es brujería.
Well, let me ask you this question, Ezekiel.
Deja hacerte esta pregunta.
Is there
¿Hay
any mistakes in Zohar?
errores en Zohar? No sé.
Ken or no? There's no.
¿Sí o no?
I guess.
Pienso.
So that would be a Ken.
So eso será así.
Wait. Now let me ask you question number 2.
Ahora deja hacerte otra pregunta.
Is there any mistakes in Torah?
¿Hay errores en Torah?
I didn't ask that question.
No te hice esa pregunta.
Is there any mistakes in Torah? Ken or no?
¿Existen errores en Torah?
So why don't
No.
we stick with what is perfect?
So, ¿por qué no mantenemos con lo que es perfecto? What? Yo no estoy discutiendo.
So we're not going to go to Zohar.
So, no vamos a entrar a Zohar.
You can go to Jonathan Kahn for that. He loves Zohar.
Puede ir a Jonathan Kahn por eso, él le encanta.
But
el
what I'm
Zohar.
talking about here is righteousness.
Pero lo que yo estoy aquí hablando es de la justicia.
And where will I find righteousness?
¿Y a dónde encuentro la justicia?
In Torah.
En Torah.
And Torah lives inside of us.
Y la Torah vive dentro de nosotros.
Okay? Because when Adam bit the fruit,
Porque cuando Adán comió de la fruta,
the etrog, the pomegranate,
The
the
fig,
avocado,
the fig.
the fig,
Yeah, I think it was a fig.
we don't know,
No, we don't. But
the watermelon,
I don't think you can
No, watermelon grows on a vine.
But why did Yeshua curse the fig tree?
Because he was hungry. But we don't know.
We don't know. We just assume.
Okay? So, when he bit the fruit,
So cuando él mordió la fruta, o comió de la
all
fruta,
knowledge
toda la sabiduría
of what was righteous
de lo que es justo
and unrighteous
y injusto
came into his kepi, his
entró en
understanding.
su kepi, en su
That was Yiddish.
cráneo, en su cerebro.
Okay? So, we are to teach our children
So tenemos que enseñarle a nuestros hijos
what is righteous.
lo que es justo,
What would be righteous?
que será justo.
Okay? The 7 holy days.
Los 7 días santos, Shabbat,
Shabbat. Kosher.
Rosh Chodesh,
Yes.
kosher. I'm sorry.
Okay. So, this is the beginning of what righteousness is.
Este es el comienzo de lo que es la
Now, let's look
justicia.
at verse 20.
Vamos a ver el versículo 20.
Jehovah said, the outcry against Sodom and Gomorrah is so great and their sin so serious. Okay? How could God judge them
¿Cómo puede Dios juzgarlo
if they didn't know what righteousness was?
si no sabían lo que es la justicia?
So Yeshua is saying, you're going to be persecuted
So, Yeshua está diciendo, vas a ser perseguido
because you're pursuing righteousness.
porque estás siguiendo la justicia.
You're telling the person who's in a homosexual
Tú le
relationship
estás diciendo a la persona que está en una relación homosexual
that is, you're not getting into heaven,
que no vas a entrar al cielo.
no matter what the Lutherans say
No importa lo que dicen los
or
luteranos,
the Methodists
lo que
say,
dicen los metodistas,
because God calls it an abomination.
porque Dios lo llama una abominación.
But also what was going on in Gomorrah,
Pero también que estaba sucediendo en Amorra,
sexual fornication.
fornicación sexual.
So those, ¿qué?
Were they doing bestiality?
It just says sexual fornication.
Solo dice fornicación sexual.
And you get that in the Brit Hadashah.
Y eso se ve en el Nuevo Testamento.
So you would set fornication,
La fornicación,
where would you find the criteria primarily in what chapter of Torah?
¿a dónde vas a encontrar el criterio y en qué capítulo? En Leviticus.
No, I said it before he said it.
Yeah, he did.
Okay, Leviticus has got a bunch of chapters.
Yeah, I don't know the chapter specifically.
Isn't it 19?
18 and 19.
18 and 19.
And 20.
You couldn't just let
And
me figure it out.
I'm sorry.
Okay? Those chapters give you a good understanding of what God says is good sexually and what is bad.
Esos capítulos de Levítico explican lo que Dios dice que es bueno y malo sexualmente.
Okay? So Amorah was being chastised
Amora fue castigado
for what they were breaking in Torah, but Torah was not written
por lo que estaban quebrantando en Torah, pero la Torah no fue escrita,
because Torah is in our heart.
porque la Torah está en nuestros corazones.
Sodom was being chastised for homosexuality,
Sodoma estaba siendo castigado por el homosexualismo,
as we see in Genesis 18
como vemos en Génesis capítulo 18
and then subsequently in chapter 19.
y también en el capítulo 19.
So righteousness
Su justicia
simply would be
Simplemente
knowing what proper sexuality is
será saber lo que es sexual correctamente sexual. Say that again.
what proper sexuality is
Lo que sexual apropiado es
and what isn't.
y lo que no es.
Like, can I have sex with my sister?
Como
No.
puedo tener sexo con mi hermana.
Okay? Because once the Leviim were put in place, then these rules were set.
Porque ya cuando los Libaín fueron puestos en su lugar, ya estas reglas fueron hechas.
Going on to the next slide.
En la próxima página,
Devarim.
Deuteronomio.
Devarim 6, verse 24 and 25. Deuteronomy.
Deuteronomio 6, 24 y 25.
And there should be E-R-E instead of E-I-R. I put the wrong there.
Okay.
This is what happens when people are talking to you and you're trying to type.
Where do you see that?
In the key.
Oh, en
At-
la clave.
Anybody who has the notes, the PowerPoint,
Lo que tienen las notas, la presentación,
at the bottom of each slide, it says key.
en la parte de abajo de cada página dice clave o key.
This is the how you want look at those verses.
Así es como quieres mirar esos versículos.
Okay, it's going to give you a question
Te va a hacer una pregunta
that will be answered by the verses that are on the slide.
que será contestado por el versículo que está en la página.
Okay, we are also working on this to translate this into Spanish.
Estamos también trabajando para traducirlo en español,
So that all these will be available in Spanish.
para que todas estas presentaciones sean disponibles en español.
This particular chapter 5 verse 10 is 100 slides.
Este versículo en particular, Mateo 5, versículo 10, son 100 páginas.
Okay, Deuteronomy 6 verse 24-25.
Deuteronomio 6, versículos 24 y 25.
Jehovah ordered us to observe all these laws, to fear Jehovah our Elohim always for our own good, so that he might keep us alive as we are today. It will be righteousness for us if we are careful to obey all these mitzvot before Jehovah Elohim, just as he ordered us to do. Amen? So in verse 25,
So, en el versículo 25,
righteousness goes together
justicia se une
with being careful
con el ser cuidadoso
to obey all the mitzvot,
para obedecer todos los mandamientos,
not just the ones you like.
no solamente los que te gusten.
A lot of people are good at the ones that they like,
Mucha gente son buenos practicando lo que le gusten,
but they don't want to pursue righteousness
pero no quieren seguir la justicia.
in ones that they don't like.
Y aquellos que no le gustan.
Like, can't I drink a couple of beers?
Pero no me puedo tomar un par de cervezas.
Okay, what's the purpose?
Ok, ¿cuál es el propósito?
What's the purpose of drinking the beer?
¿Cuál es el propósito de tomarse una cerveza
With alcohol.
con alcohol?
Now, you can drink near beer. It's alcohol free if you want the taste.
Puede tomar la cerveza virgen que no contiene alcohol por el sabor. Si quiero cocinar con él.
Can you cook with near beer?
Puede cocinar con cerveza sin alcohol.
Near beer is beer without the alcohol.
The alcohol cooks off usually when you cook with it.
Then why cook with it at all?
You get beer better fish.
Okay.
Giving you words for you tonight.
Huh? Yeah.
Well, won't.
The Ecuadorians cook with beer.
It's because it gives a sweetness when it.
Now let me ask you a
Not
question.
anymore though. Yeah, I
Okay.
don't do it no more.
Okay. Now, margarita.
If beer contains 5% alcohol by volume, like wine, if it has a 5% volume,
Wine has
alcohol by volume,
12%.
12%.
12%.
It's 12%.
Well,
El vino tiene 12%.
Oh.
Moscato is 5.5%.
I think she's talking about.
all right, well, what's the question?
She's saying if beer has 5%, which is less than wine, can you cook with it?
What's the purpose?
¿Cuál es el propósito de cocinar con la cerveza? Chicken stew is delicious with beer, cooked with beer.
Why can't you have non-alcoholic
¿Por qué
beer?
no puede usar la cerveza virgen que no contiene alcohol?
Cause why?
¿Por qué?
In Deuteronomy,
En Deuteronomio,
we stone the son who gets drunk.
apedreamos el hijo que se embriaga.
Okay? Wait, one at a time. If you want to play the game, let's play the game. I like the game.
Ooh,
I like the game.
I'm out of water.
Can I get my fire
My first question,
Mi primera pregunta,
what is the purpose?
¿cuál es el
You
propósito?
said it tastes good.
Tú dices que sabe bueno.
Can we get beer that doesn't have alcohol in it?
Podemos comprar cerveza que no contiene alcohol. She says, I don't buy it, but before I used to do it. They cook it with a beer that didn't contain a lot of alcohol. I use lemon in place of the beer. Right, to make the stewed chicken.
Let me ask you a question.
Te hacerte una pregunta.
Can you get a non-alcoholic beer to do the same thing?
Puede comprar una cerveza sin alcohol para hacer lo mismo.
Since everybody's saying the alcohol evaporates,
Que todo el mundo está diciendo que el alcohol se evapora.
then let's not have alcohol at all.
So no vamos a tener alcohol. Yeah. Yeah.
Near beer.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Everything.
E-
That's what I drink.
Everything. Ale, beer.
And there's actually
Stout.
more now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Y hay mucho más ahora sin alcohol.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what is the purpose?
¿Cuál es el propósito? The tradition, you know, the habit, force a habit.
Tradition got us killed.
La tradición nos mató.
And Yeshua says it to the Pharisees.
Y Yeshua se lo dice a los fariseos.
You know, they say you don't do the tradition of the elders.
Tú le dices que no hace le dijeron que no hace la
You
tradición
don't
de
wash
los
your
ancianos.
hands. You don't wash your hands like the elders.
Tú no lavas tus manos como los ancianos.
Where in Torah does it say how to wash your
¿A
hands?
dónde en Torah dice cómo lavar tus manos?
Now in Yoma it says how to wash your hands.
¿A dónde?
Yoma.
En Yomen.
Yoma.
Yomá.
Yoma.
Yomá.
Okay. Margarita.
There's another thing.
Another thing.
The wine. 12%. That if you cook a chicken in the oven with that wine, it's delicious. So use grape juice, right?
My wife cooks lots of things. Even my mother, we've ate chicken every way possible.
Nosotros cocinamos el pollo de cualquier manera imaginable.
There's many ways to cook a chicken.
Hay un millón de maneras de cocinar una gallina o un pollo
That doesn't require alcohol.
que no requiere alcohol.
What we're talking about here is the word.
Lo que estamos hablando aquí es de la palabra.
Okay? So, one second.
Un momento.
I love playing chess. It's wonderful.
Me encanta jugar el ajedrez, es bien divertido.
Okay? So, if we're seeking righteousness
So, si estamos buscando la verdad
and we stone the child
y apedramos al hijo
who gets drunk,
que se embriaga,
then should we be utilizing these things when not appropriate?
entonces debemos de utilizar esas cosas cuando no es apropiado.
Now, for Shabbat,
Ahora para Shabbat
we have to have a wine offering.
tenemos que tener una ofrenda de vino.
And God talks about having wine
Y Dios habla de tomar vino.
because He designed it for a particular purpose.
Porque Él lo diseñó por un propósito en particular.
And scientifically now we know those
Y
purposes.
científicamente ahora reconocemos esos propósitos.
Having just a beer because I want a beer,
Pero tomándose una cerveza porque quiere una cerveza
is that a godly purpose?
es un propósito piadoso.
And why do you want a beer that must have
¿Y
alcohol?
por qué quieres una cerveza que tenga alcohol?
If you're pursuing righteousness,
Si estás siguiendo la justicia,
if we're careful
si somos cuidadosos,
to do as He ordered us to do,
hacer como Él nos mandó a hacer,
then we'll be blessed.
entonces seremos bendecidos.
Yes, son.
So if I wanted to, let's say, I'm making a meal, and let's say we're talking about chicken stew, so I'm making, chicken or some sort of chicken dish.
Chicken marsala.
Air Shabbos. So let's say I want to, like, chicken marsala, or just marsala wine. Can I do that?
What is the purpose
¿Cuál es el
for the
propósito
alcoholic
para el alcohol?
wine?
Because I want to use wine on Shabbat.
Porque quiero usar el vino en Shabbat. Puedo usar vino en mi comida.
Is that what God said?
Eso fue lo que Dios dijo.
Is the wine offering in the food?
Es la ofrenda de vino en la comida.
No, it's not.
So,
Can I have it both ways?
You're a lush.
I'm going to teach
Yo voy a enseñar
to be careful
para ser cuidadoso
and to side on the air of caution.
y estar en el lado de la precaución.
So, if God is saying don't get drunk,
Si Dios está diciendo no te embriagues,
well, I can handle my liquor.
o yo puedo
Yeah, I've known a lot of
controlar
people
mi
like
licor.
that. So, God says to have a glass of wine
Dios dice que te tomes un
And a
un
wine
vaso de
offering.
vino, en
But
una
the-
ofrenda de vino.
Where does he say cook with it?
¿A dónde él dice cocina con él? En ninguna parte.
Does drinking it do something for your body?
Tomándolo hace algo para tu cuerpo. Yeah.
And does it's antioxidants?
And it helps with the digestion.
So when now let's take this further. Oh, this is beautiful.
Vamos a llevar esto un poquito más para allá.
Now, Jehovah says,
Ahora Jehová dice,
don't cook a goat
no cocines un
in its
cabrito
mother's milk.
en la leche de su madre.
Why specifically a goat?
¿Por qué específicamente un cabrito?
Because when you do that,
Porque cuando lo haces,
it makes a toxic thing that when you eat it,
hace una reacción tóxica
will
que
make
cuando
you
te lo
very
comes,
sick.
te hace bien, te enfermas.
So if you're cooking with the wine
So, si estás cocinando con el
and
vino
God says to drink the wine,
y Dios dice que te tomes el vino,
is there a possibility
hay una posibilidad,
that changing the heat index of the wine
cambiando el índice de calor del vino,
does something chemically to the wine
hace algo químicamente al vino
that could be bad for you?
que puede ser malo para ti.
Yes, it's a good, very good possibility.
Huh?
Okay.
But-
So,
But I'm sorry, I have to ask a question. Because if it does create a chemical change that does you harm, everybody's had chicken marsala.
I agree.
And nobody has died or gotten sick from it. Unless the chicken itself wasn't cooked right.
Now, here in verse 25.
Huh?
Now, in verse 25,
Ahora en versículo 25,
the Lord says
el Señor dice
to be careful.
que tenga cuidado.
Is that being careful?
¿Eso es siendo cuidadoso? No. Well, no. I guess not.
So, just because somebody came up with a recipe,
Simplemente porque alguien hizo la receta.
did you eat pork?
Yeah, and I got sick quite a number of times from eating it.
But you still ate pork.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Did you eat shrimp?
yes. Quite often, yes.
Scungili,
Oh, yes,
calamari.
yes. Oysters, clams, mussels.
Did you get sick from all these?
No, I didn't.
No, but
You can, yes, if it's not cooked right, yes.
were you a diabetic all your life?
No, I wasn't.
Be careful.
Yes.
The Lord designed a body to be perfect.
Yes, you're right. I see your point. But I see the point.
The Lord designed the body to be perfect.
El Señor diseñó el cuerpo para ser perfecto.
They are not the 10 recommendations.
No son las 10 recomendaciones,
They're the 10 commandments.
son los 10 mandamientos.
Because
Yes,
He is omnipotent.
porque Él es omnipotente.
And if we're pursuing
Y si
righteousness,
estamos siguiendo la justicia,
then we pursue His commandments.
entonces seguimos sus mandamientos.
So He says don't get drunk.
So, Él dice, no te embriagues.
Does chicken marsala taste good? Yes,
Chicken
it
masala sabe bueno?
does.
Sí, sabe muy bueno.
But you can always get wine that's non-alcoholic wine, and do the same taste.
But how if
Ken?
Yes, but how if non-alcoholic wine is grape juice?
No, well, it's not just particularly. It's different types of grapes, and they're not adding the alcoholic process.
Well, the alcoholic process comes from yeast. It comes from fermentation.
Yes. So they're not adding that in, but they're still making wine.
Okay. All right. Okay.
This is naturally in the air.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. I see it.
Okay.
Yes.
So in verse 25,
So en el versículo 25.
and then we'll close.
Y después cerramos.
It will be righteousness for us if we are careful to obey all these mitzvot before Yehovah Elohim, just as He ordered us to do.
Y tendremos justicia cuando cuidemos de poner por obra todos estos mandamientos delante de Jehová nuestro Dios, como Él nos ha mandado.
Yeshua says,
Yeshua dice,
pursue righteousness.
sigue la justicia.
The world has its way of doing things,
El mundo tiene su manera de hacer las cosas,
but the
Yeshua.
king has his way of doing things.
Pero el rey tiene su manera de hacer
Our
las
job
cosas.
is to pursue and be careful.
Nuestro trabajo es para seguir y ser cuidadosos.
So if God says to stone the son that gets drunk,
So, si Dios dice que apedreamos al hijo que se embriaga,
do you think he just started out being a drunk?
¿tú piensas que él comenzó siendo un borracho?
Most people don't start out being chain smokers.
La mayoría de la gente no comienzan ser fumadores de cadena. Sí, de cadena, que fuman uno detrás del otro.
Most people, when they have their first drink of hard alcohol, go,
La mayoría de gente cuando toman su primer trago de alcohol, le quema por dentro.
right? How does it happen?
¿Cómo es que sucede?
Because they're not careful.
Porque no son cuidadosos.
And when we start to push the rock,
Y cuando comenzamos a mover la piedra al límite,
it starts to roll.
empieza a rodear.
And a body in motion tends to stay in motion.
Y un cuerpo en moción siempre se queda en moción.
But a body at rest
Pero un cuerpo descansando
tends to stay at rest.
se mantiene descansando. Amén.
On that note,
En esa nota,
we're going to close our study for tonight.
vamos a cerrar nuestro estudio por esta
And we are
tarde.
on slide number
Y estamos en la página número
85.
85.
85.
85.
All right, any questions from the Skype land?
Hay preguntas en la tierra de Skype.
Any questions from WebEx
Hay
land?
preguntas en WebEx.
No more questions in here
No hay más preguntas aquí.
until after we close.
Hasta después que cerremos. She wants to ask another question about wine. Definitely no wine in the food.
No alcoholic wine.
No vino alcohólico.
Non-alcoholic beer for the chicken.
Huh? Is sangria alcoholic? I used to drink it heavily.
¿Sangría es alcohólico o no? Yes.
Alcohol doesn't make you the sweetness.
It's fermented. It's alcoholic.
I'm saying, if you have sangria and chipá, wine and fruit.
Bro, that stuff is like.
How much of this sangria are you drinking?
Let's close in prayer. We'll discuss that later.
Thank you, Lord, for fermentation. Thank you, Lord, for your word. May we all be careful with your word, for you will bless us if we are careful. Thank you, Lord. Give us a heart that chooses the higher road and looks at the ancient paths as we see in Yirmiyahu 6:16 and chooses the ancient path of righteousness. In your name, Yeshua. Amen. Shalom. This is Messianic Rabbi Andrew Dinnerman. I would personally like to thank you for tuning in to the Remnant's Call each and every week. You can listen to the full message on our website, bethgoyim.org. If you have drawn closer to the King of Kings, learned more about Him today, we are blessed. If you are blessed by these messages, please consider a donation to our ministry. You can go to our website, bethgoyim.org. That's BETHGOYIM.org, and click on the donate button. You do not have to have a PayPal account to donate. All you need is a debit card. Once again, thank you very much for listening to The Remnant's Call.
If you have not taken your first steps to be born again, just ask God's help. Remember, it's His loving grace that has come to find you. No one is worthy or able to reach God, but God can reach us, and He's reaching out to you now. Just open your heart and let Him in. His arms are open, and the blessing of salvation and eternal life are waiting for you. Don't let it wait any longer. Ya Adonai, panavoleka, vikuneka, Yisa Adonai, panavoleka, vayasem laka, shalom. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord lift His face to shine upon you. May the Lord be gracious unto you and give you His shalom. Shalom. My name is Messianic Rabbi Andrew Dinnerman, and I invite you to come to visit our congregation. If you are in the tri-state area, come out and visit with us on Shabbat. We are a congregation of Jews and Gentiles, living as one in the Messiah Yeshua. BGMC is a place of true worship. The focus never wanders from the Hebraic roots of our faith. Beth Goyim is rooted in the Word of God from Bereshit through to the book of Revelation. Messiah's strong words against man-made tradition are carefully recorded in Matthew 7. That is the reason we only follow the straight-up instructions found in Scripture, truly the way, the truth, and the life. If you're looking for a deeper walk with Adonai, come out for our Tuesday evening Bible study called Messianic Torah Time. Come, spend a day with us on any Shabbat. We start at 11 a.m. with the sound of the ancient Hebrew shofar. Next, we offer our King praise and worship in English, Hebrew, and Spanish. After worship, we review the headlines in the previous week's news from around the globe, especially news from the Holy Land, Israel. We don't just list the news headlines as current events, but we comb through the scriptures, searching for clues to understand what they mean and then to help pinpoint prophetically our current position on Adonai's clock. After digesting all that modern information, we leave the world behind as we journey with our Adonai deep into His eternal Word, not with just one or two scriptures, but usually 7 or more scriptures. The spiritual nourishment and the richness of His kingdom become accessible to the ones who share this special time and seek them out. The day does not end there. Because Shabbat is so special to Him, there is always so much more that our King desires to share. So instead of separating and leaving, we stay together as a family for potluck lunch and an afternoon study of our King's Word. We close the Shabbat together with the reading of the new week's parashah. That's the Torah portion. Even after those blessings, many of us just can't get enough. So the members bring prepared homemade foods to share while we all enjoy an uplifting movie together. If all that information is not quite enough, you can check out our website where you will find over 200 video teachings and biblical holy day studies. Under Messianic Torah Time, the Hebrew Roots button, you'll discover free studies on many, many different topics, including PowerPoint slide presentations. If Beth Goyim sounds like a place you'd love to visit, but you live outside the tri-state area, there is still a way to connect with us. We stream live
on the internet on Tuesday, Thursday, and Shabbat. The website is www.bethgoyim.org. That's BETHGOYIM.org. Our phone number is 973-338-7800 or 978-2-YESHUA. That's 978, the number 2, Yeshua. Shalom.